What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pressbox. I'm your host, Nadia, and today I'm joined by J. Rob, Jalen Carter, MJ, Bama, and Trent. We've got a great show for y'all, but before we get started, let's go ahead and shout out our GOAT members and our Hall of Fame stars: Jeremias, Terry, IDWC, Avion, Damien, Loaded, Poppin' It Clips, and legend Brian Kendall. Want to become a member? Click join to see all membership offers. Chat, thanks so much for being here today. All right, for our first topic of the day, we've got Chandler Jones taking to social media to express his discontent with the Raiders organization. Jones was upset after he was apparently locked out of the building when trying to work out. The Instagram story on Jones's page has since been deleted, but it appeared to be directed at head coach Josh McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler. If the Pro Bowl DE becomes available, which teams could y'all see making a move for Jones? Bama, start us off for the day.
I mean, it'll probably have to be a team that wants to win right now. Me, with them older players, I mean, I know how it is. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I get it, when they have like they little mishaps, but it's like, bro, at the age y'all at, really, how like what do y'all expect to gain from this? You know what I mean? Like they trying to negotiate something that's not really in their benefit. For us, with what the NFL has shown older players, you know what I'm saying? All these young pups coming up. So I don't know. I mean, if that's what he feel like he need to do, obviously he know what's best for himself. But I know it ain't finna end well for him. He out of there.
Yeah.
Out of there, gang.
Yeah. You feel the same, J-Rob?
Yeah, but I actually like that he's out of there because, for me, I don't like when good players are trapped on bad teams. I like to see I like to be able to watch like the best players be impactful and, be able to play in playoff games and potentially really impact a team that's winning. And I feel like there's a lot of teams out there that a guy like Chandler Jones can really be like, that's not no scrub. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the better linebackers in all of football. So if I'm looking through the landscape, there's a few teams that I think would be interested in his services. I mean, why wouldn't the Buffalo Bills be interested in a guy like Chandler Jones? Bolster that D line, add another weapon. You have Von Miller on one side, you get Chandler Jones on the other side. That's an upgrade. You still got Ed Oliver up front. Bills, and most Bills fans would say their D line is cool because you got Von, but he's kind of like the commodity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is Michael Jackson to this Jackson 5%. It's not really any stars. But if you go get Janet, now you're cooking with something. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you go grab Chandler Jones, they could get him. I like the Bengals as a potential team that could get him. I'm actually really sad that the Ravens grabbed Jadeveon Clowney because I think they would have easily been in business to get a guy like Chandler Jones to add another pass rusher. And even with Jadeveon Clowney, I could still see the Ravens going out there and going to get a guy like Chandler Jones because, I mean, MJ, you know this from your own team. Having an abundance of D linemen that can actually play and rotating those bodies in to keep them fresh, you really can wear down an offense if you have multiple ways to hit you with a slew of different D linemen. So I could still see the Ravens going to add a guy like him, but there's going to be definitely a few teams looking to move the needle with a guy like Chandler Jones.
Yeah, man, I'm right with you there. J. Rob. He needs to go. Joe, my boy Joey Shiesty with the Bengals, help him win that Super Bowl. Because that's a piece that can take you over the top, especially with these good teams that I think have borderline top 10 defenses. You add a guy like Jones, you can jump into the top 5. So again, you mentioned like the Bengals, you mentioned the Bills, the Ravens. Those are definitely teams. I think even a team like the Bears, you add a guy like Jones, that takes them to another level. So Dolphins, another team that I think is a top 10 defense, probably in that 8, 9, 10 range. You add Jones, gets them maybe into the top 5. So teams like that who are probably going to make the playoffs but take the next level, adding Jones would be a piece. Big loss for the Raiders though if they do end up trading him. So hopefully they do get a significant piece or draft picks for him because it's definitely a big loss and he's definitely worth something.
I think a team that might have been overlooked in terms of they aren't like the top echelon, but they're actually, they have a really good quarterback, and if they have a great defense, could do some. And part of their defense is why they had a disappointing postseason is the Chargers. Chargers gave up a 30-point lead, right, in postseason time. Now, if they add a guy like Chandler Jones, yeah, he's 33 years old, but let's say they add him and he becomes, a great playmaker, a deciding factor on that team, and they make a deep playoff run, then he could be in line for a lot of cheese, even at his age too. So that could be a team that, he could have some great impact there, and it could, convert to winning and kind of like changing that like Chargers curse that they seem to always have. I think also too,
Word.
the Browns pairing Chandler Jones with Miles Garrett talked about. Look, I know firsthand as an Eagles fan, rocking my team. You feel me? I know last season we had Josh Sweat, we had Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. I mean, we had all these boys getting after the quarterback, especially in the AFC North when you are going to be against Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. If you can't get to the quarterback, is
You doomed.
rap. I don't care how good Deshaun Watson plays. If you let Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson get a lot of time in the pocket, they're just gonna pick you apart. So I think the Chargers and the Browns are some teams that, like, if they get Chandler Jones, that can elevate them to another level. And obviously, like, I think the Chiefs and what's going on with them and what's happening with Chris Jones, they could definitely use another defensive end that could, make something happen.
Like,
Even though I don't think that Chandler's the same player from the Cardinals, I mean, of course, he still brings good value. So I'll probably say I think like the must need probably, even though because like they lost Jesse Bates, it's of course the Bengals because like you had him with Trey Hendrickson, you got DJ Reader. They just need somebody else to add on the defensive line for real. It's either that or really the Bills. Like the Browns, it's like the Browns get Chandler Jones, that's a plus because they already just signed to Darius Smith. So him and Myles Garrett, that's like I think they're gonna be locked and loaded. They're cool. The Ravens, I don't even think they will even try to get them because they've been so locked in on getting so many defensive pieces. I think if anything, they won't go for another offensive player. So I think like what the main two teams that will probably get Chandler Jones is probably the Bills and the Bengals. And also getting locked out, your own facility trying to work out that you're gone. Like that's crazy.
that story was weird, Trent, because they talked about like the apparently like the organization reached out to his the mother of his child looking for him. Like it was definitely a few things that was like, I mean, I'm surprised because didn't he play with McDaniels in New England? Weren't they together? Like, wouldn't they have a good relationship? No,
I don't really remember that honestly. So
nobody never had a good relationship with McDaniels. Hey, that was the first thing. Like nobody ever liked him. Nobody never liked any of the what the offsprings of the Bill Belichick umbrella because they just tried to be Bill Belichick's. It's just like that's just not that only worked for him. So what the Trent to piggyback off of what Trent was saying, that's why I was saying for is a location for Chandler Jones. It's gonna be somewhere that already has a solid. So what you overlooking, MJ, with the Eagles, bro, the whole front line is solid. So therefore, if you add a pass rusher, you can afford to add a older pass rusher because your interior tackles is just as solid as the pass rush. When you older and you have to come in and be the primary pass rusher or the primary person that gets pressure on the quarterback, like a Bills that don't have a nice interior D-line or a few other ball clubs that necessarily don't have that notable interior D-line, you risk the injury. As you can see what happened with Von Miller. Von Miller from the Rams, when they had a nice front four across the front playing with Aaron Donald in the middle, he was a lot more effective because now you have a lot less chip blocks, you have a lot less pull blocks you got to deal with. Because if Chandler Jones or Von Miller goes to a team that don't have a good front seven, right? Well, they go instantly be the focal point, and you don't want the old head being the focal point, constantly having to take all of them licks from pulling guards, chipping running backs, chipping tight ends. So you want him to go somewhere that has honestly, I hate talking about this team with that little nasty one right next to me. But the best spot for him to go would be the Giants. I'm gonna keep that a bean. You got Dexter Lawrence. You got the little rook over there from Oregon. Yeah, Kayvon.
I mean, we had depth. We need, and that's another. I just thinking about that. I forgot about the shirt, the jacket I'm wearing, because that's still another big thing with the Giants for D-line. We need more depth. So it's just
keep it real with them old heads. What they say, bro. I got about 2-3 good plays to drive. So going on the team, they got a loaded D-line. You can maximize 2-3 plays to drive. You can afford to, hey, bro, he got his 2 plays going out. I can afford to do this now if I got a loaded D-line versus if he my primary person that's gonna get the pressure on the quarterback. It's like he can do it, but at the age he at now, playing the position he play, how long he gonna hold up? Do you want him for the postseason or do you want him for a regular season? So that's just what I think with Chandler Jones.
All right, and before we move on to our next segment, we actually have our first super chat of the day. Some breaking news coming from Football CF Candy. Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson injured. Guys, do you have any takes on this, on how this will affect the Packers?
I mean, that's just flat out crazy. That's so unlucky because coming in with Jordan Love, even though, of course, we take it with a grain of salt, Jordan Love looked really good in preseason, and now your first game, your 2 best targets is out. That's crazy. That's very unlucky. I hope they play though, but hamstrings are no joke though. So
yeah, that's the problem with the hamstring is that it's like you just don't know if you're gonna get it back. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't know, and you're gonna take it week to week. But also the one thing about a hamstring, I don't know how many of you guys have ever pulled your hamstring. You usually pull it from running as fast as you can. So it's like you're always nervous to see how far you could push it before this thing pops in. That's more so the mental hurdle of it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it can go. You just don't know because you ran really fast and the rubber band did not come back. It snapped. You know what I'm saying? So, I could see it being hard for Jordan Love out the gate, missing your 2 targets. But, this is very unfortunate. And I hope them boys can get healthy. I think Christian Watson probably may be available week 1, but I don't know about Dobbs because he's nursing that hamstring.
Yeah, for Jordan Love, I mean, this is just, it's the worst you can do. I mean, I know he's not a rookie quarterback, but technically, it's his first full season starting. So, we'll call him a rookie quarterback in that sense. Losing 2 targets like that, it's just going to be tough. I mean, I'm not now with those 2 guys out. I wouldn't be shocked if, the first week getting the other receivers in there, they're going to be some plays where the timing with receivers is off, where maybe guys run the wrong route. So it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be bad for Jordan Love. They're going to make it work. Maybe they'll run the ball more until they get healthy. But like you said, with hamstrings, you never know if they're out for 1 week or they're out for 9 weeks. With the hamstring, you just really don't know. It's hard to predict. So tough loss for Packers. Tough for Jordan Love. We'll see if they can make it work.
I think it's definitely a loss, but the beginning of their schedule is one of the easiest, if not the easiest in the league. I mean, they playing the Bears. I mean, they won less than 4 games last season. I ain't really too. No, I ain't tripping about that if I'm a Packers fan. They in the Falcons. I mean, nobody's really tripping about them. Then the Saints. So the real, I think most challenging game is going to be Week 4 against the Lions, and then later half the season. Play the Chargers and the Chiefs. So obviously this is a blow, but if it was to happen, this time is potentially the best time if it was to happen because the level of competition isn't that high.
That's a good point.
Good point.
Right. Well, hopefully those guys can bounce back sooner rather than later. But speaking of hamstring injuries, next up we've got the latest on Los Angeles Rams star wide receiver Cooper Kupp traveling to Minnesota on Monday to see a specialist in hopes of getting at the root of his hamstring issues, according to head coach Sean McVay. McVay has said that Kupp remains day-to-day. Now, the Rams open their season Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. How will Kupp's potential absence affect the Rams this season, J-Rob?
They're getting smacked. If Cooper Kupp is not playing, even with Cooper Kupp playing, I'm not gonna hold you since the team is so depleted. I think they're gonna get smacked regardless. With him not even being there now, they're gonna lose probably by 30. Because if Geno Smith is back on, If Geno Smith is on timing and you already have the three-headed monsters with JSN, DK, Ty Lockett, that offense is going to destroy the Rams defense because they only really got Aaron Donald there. So, I mean, regardless, I'm not going to lie, it's a lose-lose situation because with Kupp, you're going to lose. Without Kupp, you're going to lose even more. So that's really all it is for real. That's
hell of an analysis, J-Rob. I probably agree. I agree with him. I definitely feel like, I mean, this is hard to see for Cooper Kupp. I mean, I think this right now is really the unluckiest you can get for him. Just off the strength of the magical season he had. He was going in the year after on pace to damn near replicate the numbers he had. And then obviously this year he's dealing with this. I mean, he flew to Minnesota. I read a bit into it. So he flew to Minnesota for a second opinion. I think he is still there. And honestly, I think, Bama, you know this. If an athlete has to fly to anywhere from where they're located to get a second opinion, it's definitely something that they are concerned about. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously this billion-dollar organization's $1 million training staff can't figure out what's wrong with you. And so now you have to go out to Minnesota to see, maybe is there some degenerative tissue in my hamstrings? Like, is it from the wear and tear? Like maybe I have to get my hamstrings cleaned out from scar tissue. You just never know what it could be. It's really unfortunate because I do think after that magical year for the Rams when they won the Super Bowl and the Triple Crown year, Cooper Kupp was on pace to put together a few more seasons and probably potentially be a Hall of Fame receiver. And I think now the bill on his career as of right now is how good could he have been if he got to stay healthy throughout his career, because he really hasn't, like, outside of the Triple Crown year, he hasn't really been particularly healthy in his career as a whole. Like, I don't know if people remember this, but he tore his ACL his second year in the league.
Yeah, second or third year.
His second year in the league, he tore his ACL. Like, it has been a grind for Cooper Kupp. And so the Triple Crown year was like, for everybody, looked like he finally broke through to the other side. But ultimately, I mean, I don't know how long his body is going to keep holding up if he's consistently having all of these soft tissue injuries year in and year out. And it's hard. I think even now it's hard to call him a top 5 receiver in the league just because he just has not been healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even really put him in a conversation because you don't even know when the next time you're going to see him.
Yeah, the Rams were doomed.
Couldn't wait to take him out the top 5 anyway, though.
The Rams were doomed before the season started. That was just worse. No, he would definitely. Hold on. I think he'll definitely top 5. I mean, look, I think Stafford. He's one of those quarterbacks that's very dependent on him. I mean, he's clearly the number 1 guy. Anytime he's in a bad spot, he's always kind of throwing to him. Cooper Kupp finds a way to make the catch. So I do think he was a top 5 wide receiver. But moving on from that, I think the Rams. I mean, I think it's going to be a lost season with Cooper Kupp. Like I said, having to travel, he's probably going to miss, I would say, close to 5-6 games at the least. It's not going to be a 1-2 week thing. You already know this team, other than the big 3 of Donald, Kupp, and Stafford, this team is just devoid of talent. It's just one of those situations where I think that, the past couple of years, you saw what they did with the salary cap. They loaded up for that Super Bowl run, playing contract, moving it around, and now they have to pay for it. So it's rebuilding time. I would not be surprised if they try to move off of Aaron Donald, Stafford after this year. I just think it's that time. Stafford at 35 years old, what does he have left will be a question, especially without Cooper Kupp. He might not look so good. And Aaron Donald, I don't know if he wants to stay in a situation where they're going to win only 3, 4, 5 games. So I think they're definitely moving off these guys after this season.
Yeah, it's time to rebuild now. Rebuild. Y'all said F them picks. Y'all got y'all chip. I respect it.
But do they have the first rounder this year though? Can they tank for Caleb?
I think they can. Yeah, they can.
But how much did they? Wait, did they pay Stafford though?
Yeah, for sure.
Like $80 or something. Yeah, something crazy.
So they might have to do with him for a couple. But yeah, it's bad for them. Like J. Rob reiterated, if you're seeing a specialist, like this kind of reminds me of, when Kawhi and how he had to see outside, outside people, outside from the organization, and that was a serious injury. So like this is not nothing to be played with. Hamstrings are nothing to be played with. And y'all coming into the season, the Rams are, with Van Jefferson as your number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
It's not good for y'all. It's not good for y'all. So, Seahawks, they gonna have their day. They gonna have their day, and I think this is just another reason why Geno Smith and the Seahawks will run away with the division in the NFC West. Simple as that.
Stop.
Do you think they should tank for Caleb?
I mean,
the Rams at this point.
I think I was gonna say I think before you even go tank for Caleb, you trade Kupp. Go trade him in the midseason. If they're bad in the midseason, bro, send him off somewhere else, bro. He can go eat somewhere else. He can go to a productive team. You can go in complete rebuild mode. Because like MJ said, I respect it. You dialed in for that shit. Basically like the 2020 Lakers. Like you got all of what you wanted to do. You dialed in, you won a chip. I respect it. Now it's time to rebuild and try to run it back later on. But
do they get off Aaron Donald though?
I think
they might as well. You might as well get off him early.
So here's the thing.
When he's late.
The thing is
what you saying, Bam?
You still want to sell tickets, so you don't want to compromise your franchise that much. See, that's why I say y'all don't want to play Madden too much. You know what I mean? Still, if I'm the owner, I still want to make some money while I'm rebuilding. So if I cut Aaron Donald, you could potentially end up sacrificing season ticket holders. I want to keep the dummies coming. Hey, we rebuilding, but I'm gonna dangle a little steak in your face a little bit. Hey, AD.
But if I'm a fan,
I might really come by tickets to see Aaron Donald. I got love for Aaron Donald, but I'm not going to a football game really watching the trenches like that.
If your team trash or in the rebuilding process, you will feel a lot better just knowing you still got Aaron Donald there.
You would feel better, but like if I'm a fan, I'm looking for the quarterback, running back, and wide receivers. That's what's going to get me out my.
Get me the 2 first-round picks for Donald. Give me the 2 first-round picks for Donald.
Here's the thing, though, for Donald, he's been flirting with retirement so many times. So they really go in this rebuild mode. He gone. He already got a Hall of Fame career. He's already one of the best defense players ever. He's sitting at the crib. So there's gonna be no mind even trading Aaron Donald.
But that also would lead back into that. Like, who say you won't retire if you just try to trade him? He still can retire too. Once you start doing all of them games, he can be like, bro, I'm done. So the other thing too with Cooper Kupp, you gotta get a second opinion, bro. Like J-Rob, you ain't played the game before. Nadia, I don't know if you want to play sports, but just like I had several situations to where you just gotta get. I fucked my hand up real bad, dog, and it hurt real bad. They was like, oh, you can play with it. Coaches, trainers, everybody. It was like, oh, you can play with it. I was like, bro, it's a big-ass knot on my hand. Like, something really wrong with my hand. Because what I learned, especially from taking kinesiology, everybody's body is different. We might all have same ligaments and heart and all that stuff, but everybody's body genetically is different. What may hurt me might not hurt MJ. Might hurt J-Rob, but it might not hurt Nadia. Nadia might recover in 2 months, but J-Rob, it take you 6 weeks. It might take me 2 weeks for the same. So we don't know. Everybody's body varies differently. So I feel that's what Kupp is, just doing his due diligence. Everybody around him probably telling him he okay. You spoke on it earlier. It's a mental thing, especially with a hamstring. It's like, bro, everybody telling me I'm okay. But it's like, if I'm Kupp, I'm like, bro, am I okay? He probably tried to do something. It's like, oh, that don't feel right. But they tell him like, bro, it's been 6 weeks. You good? Like, I promise you good. And it's like, nah, bro, I ain't good. So it's like, bro, I'm finna go get away from you nerds. I'm finna go over here and spend some of this NFL money and just get a doctor that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Like, I just want to really see am I good, bro? Because y'all telling me I'm good, but I feel like I'm not good. So y'all think I'm bullshitting? Y'all bullshitting. So we the Spider-Man meme right now. We just point fingers at each other. And nobody is gonna fold at this point. You know, J-Rod, the organization gonna always think they right. But as a player, bro, I gotta protect my family. I got a wifey, I got a kid. Like, bro, I'm trying to make sure I can still put food on the table for them. So I feel him doing his due diligence. So back to what Trent was talking about, that's another reason why I feel like they wouldn't get blowed out and they possibly could win the game. You got Stetson Bennett over there, college kid. No expectations. That's for guys that's trying to prove themselves. The most perfect situation you could put them in is a situation where we don't expect nothing out of y'all. Everybody expects y'all to go out there and get whooped. So at this point, bro, if I'm Stetson Bennett, bro, I'm live and shit. I'm throwing no looks. I'm throwing. bro, what do you have to lose, bro? At this point, bro, we think you finna go out here and get beat by 50. So the worst that you can do is go out here and just have fun, bro. At this point, we have no expectations. You hear people already talking about blow the team up and rebuild. If I'm Stetson Bennett, bro, I'm probably thinking I'm finna have the game of my life, bro, because the team that we coming in probably thinking the same thing, like, oh, bro, all dudes, Aaron Donald don't want to play here. The whole team pretty much ain't here, bro. But you know how it is, bro. If you're a competitor, bro, man, we finna go in and try to win this game. Especially I'm Stetson Bennett. I fought with Stetson his whole career. They didn't spit on him. So this will be a good time for him to come in and put the NFL on notice. I'm not saying that he's gonna be an elite quarterback, but what I'm saying is he's gonna come in, bro, and he gonna roll his sleeves up and punch the clock. I like Stetson, dog.
All right, so Bama, you hit us right on the next segment. So talking about team confidence and player confidence, coming out of New York, we've got Jets cornerback DJ Reed saying that the Jets defense can be quote-unquote historical like the Legion of Boom. What are y'all's thoughts on the ceiling for this Big Apple defense? MJ, what's your reaction to Reed's confidence?
On who again?
DJ Reed.
DJ Reed. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. So I like to see what everybody else say, but man, I'm excited.
I mean J-Rob Green. I'm tired of seeing him smile.
J-Rob.
Yeah, I know he's smiling, but hold up. I mean, look, they got all the pieces to be great. You know, you got Sauce Gardner, you got Quinn Williams there. I mean, to me, I think the biggest thing is that I know last year people are really hype on a great defense. They had the toughest schedule and still had a great defense, which I think was big last year. But this year, I think the biggest factor might just be having a good. I don't think people realize how much having a good offense can help your defense. Having a guy like Aaron Rodgers keep your offense on the field, giving your defense rest, but giving time of possession, giving all that. This is going to be a better defense simply because of that too. And then you have those rookie cornerbacks taking another step this year, second year, going to be better. Do I think they'll be all time like the Denver Broncos from Peyton Manning last year or the Ravens? No, we're going to take a step back. We're not going to put them at that all-time great. Do I think they could be the best defense in the NFL this year? Possibly. No, it's them, the Niners, and the Cowboys are in that conversation. But again, I think they could be top 3, top 5 defense. I don't know about all-time great though. I want to see again. A lot of players have great rookie seasons. You know, they had a couple of those young guys on defense who played great last year. I want to see if they can have that again. You know, because it's a lot different when other teams have film on you. They have their tendencies on you. So we'll see how they adjust and play this year.
I mean, for a player like having that much confidence, I like that in a player. So I'm not really knocking DJ Moore about to clown him before he say he can be historic. I've heard so many players on good defense say, "Oh, this to really be historic." I like it. I like the confidence. Now, do I think they'll hit that ceiling? Hell no. But they will be an elite defense, probably top 5, top 10 defense. But I don't really think I have a problem with what DJ Reed said because he just has confidence in his team. But I think the ceiling though, it could be top 5. It could be top 5, top 10. I like it. So that's really what I got for real. Let me see what
I just know like we really got them dogs over there in the Big Apple, man. I'm not going front. Like, I'm just ready for y'all to see this D line because there's gonna be some names that y'all really gonna have to remember this year. Like Jermaine Johnson is going to be a star this year.
Will McDonald.
I think Will McDonald, bro, is going to be a young stud. Like, he's going to be one of the better young D linemen in the league. I mean, y'all already know what Quentin Williams is. I think right now he's the second best D tackle in football. The only one I'm putting over him is AD.
Pump the brakes.
I'm not pumping them brakes. Yeah, I mean Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Chris Jones. But see, Chris Jones, they be having to move him from DT to DN because he's their best D lineman, period. So I look at Chris Jones as just D line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would call him just the D lineman pass rusher. But I just think like the nose guard position, I think Quentin Williams is one of them guys. I mean, I think Sauce and DJ Reed are one of the better duos in the league. DJ Reed would be a CB1 for a lot of other teams in the NFL. I think overall we got the interior with CJ Mosley. We added Quan Alexander. We got a lot of pieces on this New York Jets football team, and there's a lot of confidence. And the thing that I love most is the expectations that the Jets have this year as a team I don't think we scared of none of them. And I think that's what's going to make us so great this year. I think everybody's hungry to prove that the year ago, this was a good football team that was just a quarterback away. We had everything we needed. We were just a quarterback away. And I think that defense having another year under its belt, another year of chemistry, another year of continuity, I think potentially you're going to see a defense that when the Jets win the Super Bowl this year or within the next 2 years, you'll look back on this defense as one of the best defenses in the history of the game. Now, 86 Bears, 2000 Ravens, 2002 Tampa Bay. I don't know if y'all boys really know about them times. Tony Dungy era. Yeah, Tampa 2. Who else? Who else was a great defense? You know, the Legion of Boom. Legion of Boom. You had no fly zone. You had that Broncos defense when they won the Super Bowl. So there's been a lot of legendary defenses. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say we'll be Legion of Boom, 2000 Ravens, 86 Bears. I'd rather us show it. But I love that DJ Reed said it because y'all setting goals for yourself. You know, I believe if you don't manifest it or put it out in the world, you can't go get it. You can't go attain it. So I think him setting a goal for the defense to be historical, I think if you shooting for that, y'all could be that. So I'm really locked in on what we could do.
Well, let me ask you this, J-Rob, because I think this defense is like legendary. Because I think it's legendary, but it's like at like the bottom tier of it. Do y'all think this year? Do you think y'all could be like this year Saxonville?
I think we could be better because I think we have more depth than they even had on their D-line. I think that's what makes us different. Like I feel like we took a page out of the Eagles book. We need 8 guys to rotate in throughout a football game, and that's how we're going to wear teams down. And I just feel like with all of the depth we have at the D-line, like y'all notice if that D-line is getting to the quarterback, everybody else's job is so much easier. And when you guys got guys like DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner out there, the CJ Mosley's out there, that D-line is going to make those guys' jobs easier, and those guys are already great at what they do. And I definitely can't wait till I see this next level of Sauce Gardner as a cornerback in this league, because y'all going to really understand why he is a top 3 corner in the league. Right now I got him at top 5, but I think after this year he'll cement himself as a top 3 corner in the league. So,
hey, well, now on what's the name? So, if y'all, J-Rob, you think y'all gonna be better than Saxonville? Do you really think they go?
I really do. No, I did do.
I'm saying this. If you think their defense is gonna be Saxonville, even better, that's almost a lock Super Bowl with that offense with the defense.
Yeah, as long as to me, Aaron Rodgers just is Aaron Rodgers. Yes, bro. I will see you in the chip. I'm already booking my trip to the bowl. Like I'm already told y'all what it was with me. I told y'all what it was.
You're so sick. You're gonna be the only person there wearing New York Jets gear.
But y'all gotta really understand if the Jets. You gotta understand if the Jets go to the Super Bowl, bro. Like I'll really cry. Like tears will come out of my eyes, bro.
Y'all name is slowly changing from the New York Jets to the New York Cowboys.
The hype crazy. The hype get real.
Yeah, the hype is crazy.
With this team, y'all are slowly becoming.
You did not just call us the New York Cowboys.
Wait. They don't deserve the hype.
You don't deserve the hype.
You have Garrett Wilson, who's going to be potentially. He's already been like a top 12 receiver. He's probably gonna be like by this year, by the end of this year, he's like 7, 8, because he's really like that. You have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers goes back to 2021. Aaron Rodgers. That's easily. He's not even a debate a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Not even a debate. That's not even a debate. Not even.
Rodgers is top 5 right now.
He is. So you have Dalvin.
Rodgers is still top 5.
You just signed Dalvin Cook, who's still one of the best running backs in the league, and you still have an elite defense, bro. Come on, like relax.
And listen, we've been to an AFC Championship. Hey, shout out to my guy JC. We've been to an AFC Championship at least in the 2000s. Shit, what have the Cowboys done? First round exit, second round exit. At least we made a little bit of a splash.
That's not
the person who y'all think that's going to get y'all to the mountaintop.
If we keep
having Cow, so I'm just only going based off of everybody playing Captain Planet. Everybody put their hands in the middle of the pot and said, "Hey, you a Super Bowl contender football." And I just said, "Wait a minute, just hold up," because I'm just looking at everybody Carfax right now, and this is like some not adding up. It's like, I hear y'all, yes. everybody got the potential to go to the Super Bowl. I agree.
No, not everybody. No, not everybody.
But okay, for the most part, a lot of teams have the potential to go to the Super Bowl. But what I'm trying to like get it, because I know the NFL do this, where they hype up one team and you just really be thinking, bro, this team is really finna come. And I said it on Trent show. They finna have y'all sick when they go 9-8, especially J-Rob. He finna be so sick because look, J-Rob talking all of this stuff about, oh, bro, our defense so good, and you can't name nobody on that D line but Quentin Williams,
Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Solomon Thomas,
Jermaine. So I like Last Chance U, but
the Last Chance U is dead nice though. Did you not watch from the preseason?
But J-Rob, this is why I don't want to hear this from you. Bama, this is why I don't want to hear this from you. Because
come on, get him, please get him.
When y'all acquired Jalen Ramsey, you know how much hype the Dolphins had before he got hurt? Do you know how much hype they had? It was almost equal to the New York Jets. And everybody was really saying all Tua has to do is not get a concussion. Hey, they could be a contender for a Super Bowl. But now it's for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. They get Dalvin Cook. I appreciate you,
my brother. Honestly,
they have an elite defense. They getting all these pieces. And now it's like, oh, we can't wait to disappoint. But when it's for two of them on your team,
I like it. I like what you're doing there. I like what you did there. I like what you did there.
Ramsey. That's a good point. Aaron Rodgers.
Context being at its finest. So first off, you just sat there and act like the Dolphins didn't go toe to toe with Josh Allen with fucking Thompson, whatever, bro.
But that was an indictment on Josh Allen, bro.
So you could say it's an indictment on Josh Allen, but I could just say that's that team pretty much being a solid team all the way up until the question mark of the quarterback. Again, when we saw Tua playing, Noodle Brain, when we saw him playing, he was playing an MVP type level, right or wrong. Like you can't deny that from Tua. He was really bugging out when he was playing.
I mean,
Aaron Rodgers was a couple seasons away from
undefeated.
He was bugging.
He was undefeated. He also was undefeated until, like I said, he started to get dizzy, the spells, all of that stuff, and then you already know what happened after that. So on top of that, with the Jets, dog, y'all was just so inconsistent, and you think adding another inconsistent QB is just what he hasn't been to the Super Bowl in like 15 years, but I guess change of venue and going to a team that necessarily didn't have a track record of being good. Y'all ruined more QBs than y'all have excelled them, J-Rob. So now
it's a different era.
It's a different
you
era.
said just because one dude.
Okay, so
Aaron Rodgers. It's not just one dude. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Let's
outside the regular season, J-Rob is talking about Super Bowl right now. So outside the regular season, tell me
Super Bowl.
What has Aaron Rodgers?
But here's the thing, J-Rob. Okay.
I'm with you, Bama. Okay.
I don't kind of like these conversations. Outside of Mahomes right now, who has really shown you gonna get you a Super Bowl multiple times? So for this year, it's a new era. Joe Burrow
multiple times.
Multiple. We're talking about multiple. And Joe Burrow and Joe Burrow's playoff run in that year wasn't great. It wasn't even good. It was okay. So and
guaranteeing you an AFC Championship game.
Okay, you can say that for now. You can say that for now. But all we're saying is
how many of them QBs you talking about, bro? If they had the 1 seed with home field advantage, how many of them losing and not scoring no touchdown? You can say it's so many angles you could come from and be like, hey, bro, how many QBs would do this too?
But I'm saying I understand what you're saying though, but I don't think it's crazy for J-Rob to say, because I'm a Giants fan kicking for the damn Jets right now. This is sad. So it's not crazy that J-Rob is saying that they can actually go to the Super Bowl with the team that they have. Because if we're keeping a buck for real, and we're talking about as a whole, this is probably the best Aaron Rodgers team in a minute.
When has Aaron Rodgers ever had a defense like this? What year would you have to go back to if you have defense?
Probably the year on like 2021 because it was really good or something like that.
He had one in 2021.
He had one. He sold it. I ain't gonna lie. So, but this, I'm saying, as a constructive whole, this is probably the best team he's had probably since like when he won the Super Bowl in 2010. So this can be a even though that Aaron Rodgers 39. He was back to his standards last year, and he played okay last year. So he can go back to his MVP form, Aaron Rodgers. He can give you a 39-5 season. He can win you this year his 5th MVP. And if he does that with this elite defense and Garrett Wilson is on the rise and he's about to be the truth, they can definitely go to the Super Bowl, bro. I don't think that's ridiculous.
Hey,
bro.
I just want to see them face adversity, bro. Because like on paper it's cool, but like what's about to happen when you win the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs and Mahomes and them boys is up 14 going into third quarter or 14 going into the fourth quarter. Like
Aaron
what
Rodgers could
y'all?
score 2
I
touchdowns in
haven't
the
seen.
fourth.
I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers prevail through adversity. I have not seen it.
Which is fine. I'm not mad at nothing, y'all opinions, but hey, even Matthew Stafford broke through.
If Matthew Stafford can break through,
yeah, if Matthew Stafford could break through, I gotta believe my dog. He can break through.
Even though of course, we've seen Aaron Rodgers playoff does, we can see another moment where he can rise and they can win. Even though it's a stacked AFC, they're one of the stacked teams, bro. Like we got to keep
one of the stacked. Thank you, Trent. Like, they are one of the loaded teams, bro. They are.
Like they're gonna be second, or they're probably gonna win it. I think they're gonna win the division. They're gonna be second.
Oh, you're definitely winning the division. I appreciate that, Trent. Even though y'all finishing fourth though, but
that's what I'm saying, bro. So, the Jets gonna be nice this year, bro. They still gonna lose to the Giants this year, but they're gonna be nice. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, so we heard y'all's predictions on the Jets this season. Let's move over to a super chat from Brian Holiday. He's asking thoughts on the Ravens offense. Do you think there will be an adjustment period for Lamar throwing more? Should Lamar still have a few designated or designed runs a game? Who will be the number one wide receiver?
See, I'm excited about the Ravens offense. Like Lamar has some weapons, but we talked about this earlier on Monday. It's like he got some weapons, but Lamar does not have no super duper weapons. Like he doesn't have what Mahomes got in Travis Kelce. He doesn't have what Joe Burrow has with Jamar Chase. He doesn't have what Justin Herbert has with Keenan Allen. And now the whole thing is lights turned off. But like you feel me, I'm gonna let somebody else go. But like he don't got the weapons.
I'm glad I'm up here because I was the one who sent them super chats about Lamar and I'm talking about him with the most pressure. So let's really talk about this. I know you said that, he doesn't have these superstar weapons and this and that. But first off, I'm gonna repeat this like I said, bro. We've all preached. I'm one of the Lamars. We've all preached. Once he gets some solid weapons, barring injury, he's going to an AFC chip or even a Super Bowl. So now. Ben, when you brought up, he has a 2-year, basically injured Odell. Like, let's not act like when he was playing on the Rams, he had no ACL. Like Sean Bailey said, he had no ACL. They was going to the wheels. So he has a year and a half to recover. He has a year and a half to recover. Now I'm not saying Odell's injury prone, so I won't be surprised if he gets hurt. But he's going to be a good weapon for the Ravens if he stays healthy. Zay Flowers is the truth. He is going to be the truth in this league. There's going to be another premier weapon in this league because he's really the truth. Elite routes, great hands, great in the yards up the catch. And then let's not ask that you still have a top 3 tight end in Mark Andrews. Now, this is the year. It's showtime, bro. Like, I'm not trying to hear no excuses unless somebody gets injured or unless I see bad play from the receivers, I guess, again. Because I get that he doesn't have the weapons like the Travis Kelce. He doesn't have the Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But now he has the weapons to go to the Super Bowl. They might be the top 5 weapons, the top 10. But Lamar Jackson, we've seen him go 14-2, Willie Snead, Hollywood Brown. We didn't see that. And now you've upgraded hella? Yeah, bro. It's time to rock.
I do understand MJ's point though, because I do think people want to see Lamar like not succeed, so they're going to overstate guys like Odell Beckham Jr. And this is no disrespect. I love Odell. I think he's one of the most talented receivers to ever play this game. But we don't know if he's still going to be Madden cover Odell. And I think that's what people, when they talk about weapons, they look at Odell and think this is Madden cover Odell. And I think I think that gets ridiculous. I love Zay Flowers, but he's still a rookie. I've never seen a rookie come in with these expectations to be an all-pro receiver in his first year.
A 5'9" rookie at that.
I've never seen it before. So it's like, and we all know he's talented. I think he was phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, this is not a slight to him. It's just because everybody was because Lamar's always had the out of not having elite weapons. Now that he got some names, people are like pumping so much gas into these receivers. And I love Mark Andrews. I love J.K. Dobbins. But MJ to a point is right, and Trent, you're to a point is right. I think he finally has something that is really serviceable, and they're not bums. They're going to be able to produce. But to sit here and like act like he got a Jettas or a Diggs or a Jamar Chase out there, or AJ Brown,
or
Tyreek Hill,
Adams,
or Devontae Adams,
the majority of his career.
Yeah, like he don't have that. Like he don't have that.
That's like the Mookies of the world. Like we know those type of people who really OD on Lamar. I'm just saying that I feel like he has something now that's stable. It's not
for sure.
So let me ask you this: how Aaron Rodgers performed with all of them weapons he had over there? Devontae Adams was in and out, right? So you saw how he was performing, right? So would you have the same energy what y'all do for Lamar? Because how y'all love bring up Zay Flowers, he finna be this. How y'all make it seem he finna be top 5 this year? Just
facts. I ain't gonna lie, facts.
It should be no DB, Jalen Ramsey included, that can guard this dude. How y'all talk about him now? I watch him.
I agree.
He run good routes. He good. But when I say anything about Lamar, when somebody say anything about Lamar of any positive manner, y'all throw it around like, bro, he just got this star-studded cast. But I guarantee you, if this was Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers and y'all gave him OBJ and Zay Flowers, y'all will make up every excuse in the book to where y'all don't need to have this expectation on him or no Super Bowl or buzz. And anytime I would say something, y'all be like, Bama, you nasty. You just hate Aaron Rodgers. If I would say anything like that, or if I bring up them points, y'all be making,
they told me I was an Aaron Rodgers hater too, bro.
This is another example of how Bama was trying to tell me with the context bending. Now you're doing it. So
how's he context bending?
Because so we know on gridiron that Bama is way more nasty than he is right now on press box. You know that he always gets the nasty logic. He's the Lamar's of the top 2 quarterback in the league. Like we act like we're not about to act like he's not. He don't be wilding on gridiron. But nobody. I'm not saying. I was one of the people when all the rumors was out when Odell was trying to sign with the team early in the season. I was fiending for the Packers to get Odell because I thought if they get Odell, they're at least gonna make the playoffs because they made a late run and they lost to the Lions. And I think Odell could have helped them a lot. But I'm saying though, for these weapons with Lamar, because the thing is, we've always said, because even of course Zay Flowers is a rookie, I think he's gonna be one of them rookies that's gonna impact his team a lot. So you have Mark Andrews, you have a dude who can actually get run routes. He can create separation. He's not a Hollywood Brown where you jam Hollywood Brown, he's not going anywhere. You actually have a dude like that. You have Odell who, even though he's not the same as route runner like he was in New York, he's still going to be a really good route runner because you can also see that I don't think he's going to be as washed. Like, it's time to go. And you still have Mark Andrews. And then the running game is elite because Lamar Jackson is the run game. Like, he's going to go for it. He can, because I see a 4,000. I feel like this is going to be the mark he gets for 4,000. And he can get another K rush. I think he's the greatest rushing quarterback ever.
But you think he's going to pass for 4,000?
I think he should.
He can.
Oh, see, I don't see that. I don't think that's in the.
But if he gets like 3,800 and like he's really good on the air, and he's always going to get some on the ground because he's the greatest rushing quarterback on ever. So he's going to tote the pill because he's the run game. And J.K. Dobbins stay healthy, even though I'm not high on J.K. Dobbins at all. The run game is still going to be good with him with J.K. Dobbins too. So that's why I say it's time to go.
Okay, I think actually J.K. Dobbins is going to break out this year too. I think people are really sleeping with J.K. Dobbins' abilities. I think he was very underutilized last year. Running offense, which is actually crazy to say.
But didn't he get injured too?
Yeah, start the year. He had an ankle to start the year.
Yeah, so I just got to see what the Ravens. But I think
came off that ACL too.
Yeah,
right.
I think they can be really good this year. So we just got to see. I don't know if they win the division though, because I got to take for that.
I don't know if he's throwing for 4,000 yards. I think a quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards and rushing for 1,000. I just think is
I think this is.
And I don't think
it's the best year to do it.
I think you can say the best year to do it. I just don't. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to throw for 4,000 yards. Like the pieces are fine, even with the pieces. I just don't see Lamar as that type of quarterback. I think for them to win, he's going to have to be a quarterback that still has his successes on the ground predominantly, while still getting you a couple of touchdowns. The 4,000 yards just seem the same. But the pieces, like you said, Odell. Like I said, like that knee, Odell. This is not the Giants Odell making all those incredible catches. Like you said, he has no cartilage in his knees. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't last more than half the season. Zay Jones, a rookie. Again, a rookie wide receiver. It'll take time for him to adjust. Not everyone can be Jamar Chase, come off the rip and be great. So I think it'll take him a little bit of time. So I don't want to put too much pressure on him. But I think with the Aaron Rodgers comparison you made, Bam, I just think the pressure is more on Lamar because at the end of the day, we've seen Aaron Rodgers win it. Like once you win that Super Bowl, a layer of pressure just off you. No matter how you feel about that layer of pressure off you. So with Lamar, I think the hype, the pressure, it's going to be there until he finally wins it. You know what I mean? Until he wins it, it's going to be there every single year. While with Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he might have won a second one, but he's won it already. So it's just like, okay, we've seen it. Now can he do it again? It'd be cool.
But see, that's why I say it's so unfair though. Like that's why I say it's so weird. It's so weird with how people come at Lamar. He was nothing but magnificent since he's came into the league. So this expectation,
nothing but magnificent.
This expectation that y'all have on him is just weird because A, where does it come from? B, when he does play, he shows you he's the same person he was when he won the MVP every time. Granted, if y'all just want to be PFF experts and be like, well, in this quarter, this game, that one pass got away from him. He was 32 degrees away from completing his pass. If y'all just want to do little petty stuff like that, bro, I mean, you can. But for the most part, bro, when you cut on the tape and you watch Lamar Jackson, bro, he nothing short of magnificent. Again, the thing with Aaron Rodgers, the reason why you talking about, oh, you get the pressure off after one, hell no, not with Aaron Rodgers, not with the talks that y'all mention him as. Some people mention him as some of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game. So people like him, nah, bro, you can't have no decade drought from at least going to a Super Bowl NFC champ. Like, bro, you had just droughts of nothing, like consistently nothing. So it's like, nah, bro, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, hell no, it ain't no pressure off you. It's like, bro, why do people keep putting you in these talks as the greatest quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL? And every time you consistently come up short in the play, I get it, bro. It's the same thing with Herbert, bro. How many 5,000-yard passing seasons do we have to see until you can get me a playoff win? Until you can beat the 49ers and Aaron Rodgers plays? How many MVPs do you have to win throughout the regular season? How many first seed overall teams do you need? How much home field advantage do you need until you beat the fucking San Francisco?
So see, the thing is, I really can't say nothing to him because I said all of this a year ago. I can't change my tune now because he's my quarterback. Like I really can't. I can't.
This is my main issue with that. You're saying all of this about Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he got his ring. Oh, now you got to get more. And he's this all-time quarterback. There are literally all-time quarterbacks who a lot of people put this specific person in the top 5, and he ain't win that damn thing his whole career.
Some people got Dan Marino as a GOAT.
Yes,
I mean, you know what, John? I mean, there's an argument.
That's why I don't like that. That's why I don't like that when we trying to do that with Aaron Rodgers. But when we start doing all this, when we go talk about Dan Marino's, oh, he's one of the best throwers ever, this and that. Nobody talks about his playoffs because he didn't win a damn thing. Nobody. But
the thing is, me and Bam would never rank Dan Marino in that category because at least Aaron Rodgers got a bowl under him. Like I don't even think you could be top 5. I don't even think you could be a top 5 quarterback with no rings, bro.
Wait, you
put the context of his situation and how much better he was than everyone.
Wait, J-Rob, you don't think that Dan Marino's in those combos though?
He's in combos.
But the reason why he's in those,
he got the talent to be, but he had the talent he had the talent or the ability, but no. You have to for me to be pick your top 5 to have no rings and be a top 5 quarterback of all time. Sorry, I can't do that.
Because if
we're gonna do that, if we're gonna do the talent thing, Trent, I'm hip. But Trent, if we're gonna get to that point, then I'm putting Warren Moon on my top 10 all time. If we're going just by ability.
And then, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, because
I think Dan Marino's a bit of an exception, though.
The reason why Dan Marino is an exception, it was the early 80s, and no one have ever saw that witchcraft before, somebody just flicking the ball 80 yards. So he gets the benefit of the doubt of being the first something we've ever seen before. That's why everybody loved Jordan so much, because we've never seen nobody flying through the air like that. Reverse layups, dunking.
We did see Julius Erving. We did see a lot of other guys.
You can say Julius Erving, but it wasn't like I ain't gonna disrespect the old heads, but it wasn't like Mike, bro. Like we just go keep it real. Them Daisy Dukes and Chucks, it wasn't nothing like your Highness, bro. Like he really used to put that work on out there. Like so, but what I'm saying is Marino was like the first time we ever seen this stuff. And bro, y'all want to talk about plumbers he was throwing it to. Listen here.
Mark Clayton was a plumber?
Listen here. Dog, them receivers he had, Mark Clayton and them, bro,
he's a plumber?
Devontae Adams will look like Gojo out there.
Wait, but don't wait. Hold on. Wait.
They gonna call plumbers.
He'll look like Gojo. Goku, One Punch Man. He'll look like all
had Devontae, bro.
That's nasty though, Bama. You know why?
Aaron Rodgers has some teams.
Wait, hold on. You know why that's nasty? You rank relative to era. Relative to era, Mark Clayton was giving you 1,415 TDs. We ain't about to call that a plumber in the 80s. Come on, bro.
He had no choice when you had a quarterback throwing 85.
Oh, he had no choice now.
Seen before. Bro, I'm dead ass, bro. Like,
nasty, bro.
Bro,
and then
what was so crazy?
It
was crazy because he was fast. He had speed for back then. So back then with them old plumbers, that was kind of hard to throw the fast receivers. But the first dude in the history of football is throwing this ball 80 yards. Like, bro, do you know how ridiculous that probably was when they said, hey, Mark, run straight far as you can. And Dan probably hit that shit on the money in stride. They was like, bro, what? Then at this point, I'm finna milk some because the league never seen this before. The league never seen 30-yard routes going down the field before. They never seen a quarterback being able to hit that on the money with zip the way Dan Marino was, bro. So he was kind of benefiting from that, dog. Like, so I mean, you could look at it both ways, bro. I'm not buying Mark Clayton. I'm sorry, bro. And then also, you also say like we of course we never seen people like what Dan Marino's doing in the 80s. We have never seen a quarterback consistently throw for 30, 40 TDs and only 5 picks for 10 years a decade. Like that's another thing why Aaron Rodgers. That's why he can't win a Super Bowl. He's too conservative for his own good. How is he conservative? He want to keep his stat book looking nice. He'd rather keep his stat book looking nice. Let me land real quick because that's another reason why you got Aaron Rodgers, who's literally one of the greatest passers ever. That's not a debate. You can't talk about. He's a top 5. He's a top 3 passer of all time. You're not gonna name me 5 other quarterbacks that throw the ball better than Aaron Rodgers, or even that's even more accurate.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. You're right on that one.
But I'm saying, but to go back to like we talk about these quarterbacks now. I think low key, just like how you say, it's kind of unfair for who you say Lamar with his situation. I kind of feel like players get like the best player effect. For example, like Aaron Rodgers was the closest probably the whole decade to Tom Brady. You see Tom Brady win all these rings. He getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aaron Rodgers missed the playoffs. Not everybody is Brady. Not everybody's going to win you. Not everybody's going to go to the Super Bowl. Not everybody's going to win an AFC champion, NFC championship, AFC championship. But if you perform well, I feel like even though Aaron Rodgers gets a lot of slack because he's basically an a-hole, even when he performed well, when he loses, he gets slack. It's the same thing with the Patrick Mahomes effect right now. You beat Patrick Mahomes, you get overrated or you just get talked about highly. Like, for example, Burrowhead. He beat Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow beats Patrick Mahomes a few times in the regular season. Is he close to Patrick Mahomes? Is he the top 2 quarterback? I feel like just like how we talk about Lamar situations unfair, I feel like it gets unfair when we start ranking these players or how players get shitted on because they don't win as many rings as Brady or they don't just win 2 or 3. But their talent is so elite, you just don't win because not everyone wins like that though. And
to touch on the Lamar thing again, I just think Mahomes and Brady got people so messed up in expectation of winning a ring. You know how long it took Peyton Manning to win a ring? You know how long it took Drew Brees to win a ring? Like, you got to give these guys 6, 7, 8 years sometimes. People expect Joe Burrow to win a ring too. We have all-time greats. John Elway took him, a decade plus to win his first ring? It takes quarterbacks time. Look at J-Rob. Give people time. You got to give these quarterbacks some time. No, hold on.
So, all right. So, Jalen.
Mahomes going to do it. And just because Tom Brady had a gift of playing with some all-time great defenses his first couple years when he was a game manager.
This is my thing. No. It's balanced, Jalen. That's the problem. Y'all take it as like we need quarterbacks to win 5, 6, 7. Tom Brady is the anomaly. That is already understood. We need to change the topic, though. So I'm going to just say this last part. You, at the end of the day, when it comes to quarterbacks, in my eyes, that winning part of it will matter when you talk about your legacy. And your legacy will never hold the same rank because everybody say he was good, but they always say he never won the big one. And so, you feel me? I think you always got to add that chip to your resume to cement yourself as the as one of the greatest. If you want to be on them and with the pillars, you got to do pillar-like things.
And I also will
Dan
say
Marino top
Hold-
5.
Hold
I
on,
was-
hurry up, make it
I
quick
was-
because Nadia about to move the
Yeah,
topic.
I was gonna say, at least I applaud you for you being consistent because I ain't know you don't think Dan Marino's in these.
I never even said Dan Marino's top 5 on any ranking. When we do the ranking, I never said him.
I'm saying you keep it consistent like with your winning shot. That's why I say I applaud you for that.
Yeah. I really feel that way.
All right, y'all. We got DP joining in. Welcome in, DP.
What's good?
Awesome. Happy to have you. So on Monday, we played a round of our new segment, Contenders or Pretenders. And today we've got another one for y'all. We're talking Contenders or Pretenders, NFC North and AFC East edition. Bama, you want to go ahead and get us started? Let's talk AFC East first. Who are you calling contenders and pretenders in the AFC East?
Bama, you muted too. If you about to say something.
The contenders, that's really tough to say, dog. Because I could just easily be nasty and be a fanboy and be like the Dolphins, but I don't know, man. My dog really scared me with them concussions. Damn, dog. I'm not finna just ride the wave. I really think they pretenders, bro. They got the potential to be contenders, which is the Jets, but I think they pretenders, bro. It's just some seem fishy about that. It seem like catfish. I just smell catfish over there brewing.
Yeah,
it's a tough division.
It's a tough division to make. Honestly, I'll just probably say process of elimination. I'll go with the Dolphins for the contender. I don't think it's no contenders in that conference, for real. We talked about them already. I don't think there's really no contenders in there. The pretenders, I'm gonna go Jets, dog. I'm not buying Josh Allen either. I'm not buying.
So we the pretenders to the Patriots. They more honest than us right now.
They not even nothing. I don't know what they
not nothing.
They not nothing. They not contenders. Pretend they just need to hope they get whatever they got going on. Yeah, exactly. But it's really between the real pretenders, the Bills and based off all this media hype, Jets. Them is the pretenders. For real. I mean pretenders, my bad. For the NFC. What NFC you said we doing? West?
North.
Oh no, we already did that. That's it.
NFC. No, it's the NFC North.
No, it's AFC. AFC. We'll do the NFC next.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Who going next?
Hey, I say really like AFC East. I went Bama on this. Like,
oh my God.
Yes.
The Jets. Like, come on, bro. Like, do I really expect like them to go from 9-8 to a Super Bowl? Like, I mean, it be happening. Sometimes happen with my Eagles. They was 7-9. They got the Super Bowl, but like, I'm just not too sold on the hype. So I'm gonna have them as my pretender. And I was low on the Bills, but now that I'm thinking, they're gonna do something this season. I really think it has been some friction, but I think they're the real contenders. They're always in the mix every single year. I'm gonna go with consistency and what I've seen in that conference over hype. So contenders, Bills, pretenders,
what have you seen, though?
Pretenders, Jets. I've seen them compete every single time in the postseason, whether it's in the divisional or the AFC Championship game. Every single time.
Yeah, 2 years. You've seen it like 2-3 years. 2 years.
At least though. With Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Let's stop the BS. I'm gonna give you mine, but let's stop the BS.
Stop the BS, man.
It's because it's kind of ironic coming from an Eagles fan who literally the year before y'all went like 9-8, made the playoffs, then y'all went to a bowl when y'all crossed.
Talk about it.
Now let's talk it. Let's
talk about it.
There's 2 locked contenders. These 2 are locked. We be playing with them. I know we got the narratives and agendas for these 2 quarterbacks, but the 2 locked contenders are the Bills and the Jets. These 2 are contenders. And then the rest, you can just call them, like, I'll just say the Dolphins, I guess, pretenders because Jalen Ramsey's out. Because if Jalen Ramsey was still playing, I ain't gonna lie, I would say they've had 3 lock contenders. But so my two, what's the name? So the Bills and the Jets are 2 lock contenders. And then I guess the Dolphins are pretenders, and then the Patriots just dirt. So
I would try out this one, man. I would try out this one. I think the Jets probably win 13 games this year. I think 13, 12 games is definitely the number for the Jets. And the Bills are at 10, 11. I'm going to give them 10, 11 wins.
13 games.
Yeah, no, I think a great team. I mean, look, we're going to rock with Aaron Rodgers. The year's going to prove wrong. Give him 13. The Bills, 10, 11 wins. I think they probably still make the playoffs too. The Dolphins, just because they're in a tough division, I think that in other divisions in football, they could possibly win in this division. I see them finishing third. And I'm thinking, maybe 8, 9 wins in that era just because of injuries too. And you remember the concussion thing; it's always kind of a lingering issue. And with the Patriots, we'll give them 4. We'll give them 4 wins. We'll give them 4 wins this year. I think Belichick can get him a couple wins just through his brilliance.
I'll go last. You feel me? So whoever wants to,
I think DP. I think he muted, bro. Maybe. Nah, I can't hear you, gang.
But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, the Jets schedule in the beginning.
Nah, MJ, you done said a lot of nastiness already. Let me go.
Can I ask one
Let me
question?
go.
Can
You
I
done
ask
said a
one
lot of
question?
nastiness already.
Can I ask one question? So
ahead.
which division is gonna get 3 teams in the playoffs? The AFC North or the AFC East?
AFC North. 3 teams?
AFC
3
North.
teams?
I'm just saying
Hey,
how y'all
I'll
talking
say,
right now. It seems like 3 teams from the AFC East when they get in.
I mean, I think honestly, I think the biggest pretender of the division. Well, actually, DP, you here?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Bet. So I think it's pretty easy, man. The Bills and the Jets got to be contenders, and the Dolphins and the Patriots are going to be pretenders. I know my man said they were 9 and 8 or whatever, but then on the flip side, right, we talk about your Eagles. When you look at them, they line up very much like the Eagles outside of the offensive line. They got a quarterback, just like the Eagles got a quarterback. They got some receivers. I would say the Eagles have better receivers with their top 2, but we know what Wilson is about to probably be Garrett Wilson this year. He looks like he's primed and ready. They got 2 very good running backs. I would say their running game is better than the Eagles' running game. They have a good defense, and they have a young coach, just like the Eagles have, and a coach that their team is behind. They are made up very, very similar to what the Eagles already presented, and we've seen that chemistry and that team makeup for the Eagles led to a lot of very easy wins, a lot of very good chemistry for a football team. The one thing that the Eagle has way more than the Jets would be that offensive line.
Offensive line, yeah.
But when you have a quarterback such as Aaron Rodgers, things on the offensive line seem to get taken care of because you can get the ball out faster, you know what to do, and he knows how to fix it up. If Joe Burrow can have no offensive line and figure it out year after year, I think Aaron Rodgers will be just fine with figuring it out without an offensive line. And there's checks to get into to get the ball out faster. And as it goes, they'll all learn each other. But I think week 1 will show a lot, right? Because guess what we got? The Bills and the Jets.
For real, I totally forgot. Oh, they match up week 1.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah, we playing them boys. We're gonna embarrass them boys week 1. Set the tone for the year. Week 1.
Bro, up to week 6, they playing the Bills, Cowboys, Chiefs, Philly. If they go like 4-2, you got me. If they go 4-2 by week 6, you got me.
That's a tough starting schedule. I'm gonna give him 5-1. I'm gonna really rock around. I'm gonna give him 5-1.
Yeah, I like the way he's talking right now. I like the way he's talking right now.
I really think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have this MVP. I think he's going to win his MVP. Like people, I know he was national standards last year, but bro, with Garrett Wilson, this offense, and let's be real, the Jets have now easily the best running back duo in the league.
Facts.
Not even close.
Not close.
So that offense is really about to turn up. Aaron Rodgers about to look like his MVP form again. He's gonna give you again, like I said, 39 TDs, 5 picks. He's going crazy, bro. Going crazy.
That's the best duo since Kareem and Nick Chubb, man. Real. So the biggest pretender of the division, because I'm not gonna count the Patriots in this because obviously it's the Patriots. I think all of us kind of know they're not really gonna be worth a damn this year. So with that being said, damn, I wish Ben was still up here. I'm taking the Dolphins as my biggest pretender, just because I think some people looked at them as a contender in the AFC. I still personally think that Tua is easier to scout than people think. I do think he's an accurate quarterback for sure, but I do think he's scoutable because I just think if you throw off some of his timing, because he's so timing based, if you can disrupt him by getting your hands on receivers, playing a little man defense, and obviously with Tyreek Hill, with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, very much easier said than done. I very much understand that, but I do feel as though if you are able to disrupt Tua's timing, he does become less effective because he does not have the power to legitimately send you 70, 65, 70 yards downfield because he lacks the arm strength. I also am worried about the health portion of it because I do feel like if Tua takes one bad hit this year, especially a blow to the head, I think there will have to be a conversation about his neurological health. And I can see that being an issue. I think the blow without Jalen Ramsey is bigger than people are making it out to seem. And I think for the first few weeks, they'll literally be I think they'll be a little bit rocky. I don't think they'll be this team that comes out and is making a big splash. I think they'll be very much middle of the pack in the AFC. And I don't understand how people could look at the Jets as like this pretender when, like Trent had mentioned before, we saw the Eagles flip an entire team around and everybody saw the Jets' potential. I don't think this is overhyped. The team has really good players on it. And everybody knows if you saw the Rams did what? They spent money on really good players. They traded for really good players and they won the Super Bowl. This happens year in and year out. The Broncos went in and went after Peyton Manning to go win a Super Bowl. You bring in good players to change the trajectory of your team. I don't think it's overhyped. I just think I can't get over the goddamn name of the team. I just think the fact that you see that Jets name in the front, it doesn't look good in your heads. But if you look on paper, this is a team that can go out there and potentially contend for a Super Bowl. And I think Trent hit it on the nose earlier. This might be, in terms of roster, the best team Aaron Rodgers has ever had. And so if he's able to put it together with these weapons, I saw Matthew Stafford do it. I very much so think the Jets can do it. And I'm letting y'all know now who have concerns about that O-line. Mekhi Becton is back, and he's going to have the best year of his career. I'm going to believe in his health. And I believe that D-line, that offensive line, propaganda that's been going out all summer long, I'm telling you, we're going to have a different team because people don't realize in camp we were not fully loaded at the offensive line position. I think the addition of Dwayne Brown and Mekhi Becton are going to lead us into a new promised land. I will say this, though. If there's one room that I want to add, I want to get another, I'm not going to lie. I like Alan Lazard, but I got to really see if he's a 2. I would love for him to be like the Eric Decker to Garrett Wilson's Brandon Marshall. But I just don't know. I got to see it. And if not, who I want to go get, Trent? Big Mike. Go get Big Mike, man.
Also, real quick, bro, why are we acting like the only reason why the Jets missed the playoffs because of Zach Wilson? They were literally in playoff contention last year, about to go to the playoffs, and then Zach Wilson failed them.
Yeah, he failed us. We didn't have a quarterback.
And now you add this, bro. I don't see why. I just think it's because the narrative on Aaron Rodgers. Because I'm not going to lie. It's really almost never the player. It's a lot of narratives. Like, it's a lot of narrative ball. People always say, this and that, and he can't be versus the 49ers. Like, bro, like, Aaron Rodgers on this team is ought to be crazy, bro. We don't.
But I mean, like, you can't blame people for looking at the past and being like, well, you've had stacked teams with the Packers and you haven't gotten done in the postseason. Yeah, you've done something in the regular season. You won 13 games, number 1 seed, all that. But it is like you are going to have to look at somebody's history. It is the last time you won a Super Bowl was over 10 years ago. It's like, all right, like we're going to look back at what you did in the postseason, the fact that you had a home field advantage at Lambeau Field, all those stats about, having lost Lambeau Field as number 1 seed, and you end up losing. So I believe people are right to believe, hey, I got to believe it till I see it. And I'll go on here and say, by week 6, I know Jalen was saying if they're 5-1, if they're 5-1, bro, I will go out here and apologize to all of y'all. They're
Yeah,
a
I
Super
can't wait
Bowl.
for
Like
that.
they're gonna
I
win.
can't wait for that.
They're going Super Bowl. If they're 5-1 after week 6, I will apologize. Facts. But
And then
that would be crazy. That's crazy as hell.
I
might start crying already, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel what y'all saying, but stacked teams is crazy. But I feel what you're saying. He has choked before, but stacked team is crazy. But I feel what you're saying.
Oh, you think he's had? I mean, I do think the last 2 years, Trent.
The last 2 years,
the last 2 were bad, bro. Because he did have more than enough to get it done.
For sure, bad. But like the rest, and probably like maybe 20. And of course, with 2011 when he lost to us, because Eli Manning gave him like 40 points when there was like 15-1 or something like that. Yeah. But like them rest, them one shit team. I feel the same because he hasn't fun. But
I will say the biggest thing for Aaron Rodgers is he's never had a defense like this. I don't believe. I feel like they've had good Packer defenses, but they've never had a defense what this defense can be. Because think about what Sauce is. Sauce is only going into year 2.
Right.
You got big Quentin Williams. He's getting I think he's year 3, 4, whatever. We saw if you watch any of Hard Knocks, he stays in the backfield. Right? They were already a really good defense. And think about this. For the ones of us that have played football, when you play offense or when you play defense, you understand when your team splits into 2, right? Training camp, you're versus each other. Then you split into 2 in the season. Y'all the offense, y'all the defense. When you know Rodgers is running out on that field, and we're as good as we were with quarterbacks we did not believe in, it makes you want to jump a little higher, tackle a little harder. So think about how good a defense was with no hope on offense. Now think about a defense that says, you know what? Any game we hold a team under probably 21 points, we win.
17. We really don't. 17, bro.
17, but even with that, we're like, you're going to go out there each week thinking Rodgers can get you over 21. But 17, right, I would say more of that. But if you just put in your mind, we're not even trying to get close to 21, but if we keep it at 21, we win each week.
Right.
That's a defense that's going to be playing even harder than they did last year because they got hope.
I agree. Y'all gonna have to wake up and smell the roses. And my bad, DP. I thought 17 is like the defense. Like if you holding them under 3 touchdowns, we'll be holding teams. Yeah. I don't think teams gonna be easily getting 3 touchdowns on them. I think we could average at least 24 to 28 points a game in terms of with the players and weapons that we have from an offensive standpoint.
All right, let's move the conversation to the NFC North. Bama, welcome back. Do you want to get us started with the contenders and pretenders of the NFC North?
All right, NFC North. I'll probably say the contender, of course, would be the Vikings. That's all that's really left up there, honestly. I think Jordan Love might take that division, but at this point, it's just a assumption. You know what I'm saying? It's based off that potential where him doing something we ain't seen him do. But what I've seen from him in preseason, it looked like they got another one again in Green Bay, dog. Like Jordan looks solid, bro. And I'm not really buying Kirk because the only thing I really think of Kirk, no matter how well he plays, the only thing I can think of when Justin Jefferson ran that corner route and he was butt naked and Kirk threw it at the back of the end zone and he had to yell,
he said, "What the
Kirk?" Like that's the only I can't get that out of my head with Kirk Cousins, bro. It's like, bro, you've been in the league 21 years and you got a rookie screaming at you to make a routine pass. And I just feel like that's just Kirk Cousins. You know sooner or later he finna be primetime Kirk where he throw 4-5 interceptions in one game. And then he just go look like nothing. He could throw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then I don't know, man, just spin the wheel and he just garbage. But just based off of what that division is right now, I'm gonna go for as contenders, like possibly making a good playoff run. Because DP brought up a good point of what a contender and a pretender is. If we talking about making the playoffs, I mean, shit, the Lions could make it, the Bears could make it. But we talking about contending for a Super Bowl, the only team I really could see making a deep playoff push is the Vikings. And they defense not even that good for real to make a deep playoff push. So I could even say that whole division is just like a bunch of pretenders because, I mean, are we really buying Jared Goff? He's a good fantasy quarterback. He's a good regular season quarterback when you least expect that he go put up good numbers. But I don't know. I still don't think that's enough to get you to a couple wins in January. Justin Fields, that O-line still doodah. I'm not buying that. He was running for his life. And that defense still young, unproven. We don't even know if they got a superstar on the pass. We don't know what their identity is on defense yet.
True.
So there it is right there. We got a lot of hopes for Justin Fields, and they added old boy from Carolina. But I mean that don't speak for the rest of the mishaps y'all had on y'all team. So I mean, just by process of elimination, really the Vikings. Honestly, if you just want to say this is a contender somewhere, but I don't think it's no contenders in that division. Like for real, like this is just not me being nasty. I don't think it's no.
You're right. You're right, Grandma. You're right.
No, a division could be whack. A division could dare be whack. I don't think there's a legitimate contender in the NFC NFC South.
It could be whack, but I'm the opposite. So I think that the Vikings is pretenders. Didn't like the fact of how they ended last season. Now you giving up a guy in Dalvin Cook. Their defense is trash. I would say that the Lions is a team that at the end of last season knocked off the Packers, knocked off the Bears, knocked off the Vikings. They ended the last season very, very well. I think guy in Jared Goff, I don't think he's top 10, but I think he's top 12, top 13. Like he's an above average quarterback, and I think that he gets more slack than he probably should. He still went to deep playoff runs with the Rams and all that. I think he probably would have had the same result if he got that stacked team that Matthew Stafford had. And the biggest thing why I'm high on the Lions is Dan Campbell. He has them boys playing. And I know he had that interview where he's talking about kneecaps and everybody like, what type time? What's he talking about? But I really do believe that he's going to have them boys playing. I like the overall roster. I do believe top to bottom, they have the best roster in the NFC North. And so I'm going to say that they're the contender in that division. The Vikings is the pretender, and the Bears, kind of how he's talking about the Patriots. Like it's dirt. And then the Packers, I don't really see them as nothing as well. So I think they dirt too. So again, like that's who I got. But yeah, like put some respect on Dan Campbell's name.
We're gonna take all that respect out of here. This is one of the worst divisions in football. I think maybe the third worst. There's no contender here. I don't think any of these teams are gonna win a playoff game. We know who the Vikings are. We know who Kirk Cousins is. Always gonna have a good regular season. When he gets to the playoffs, he's gonna do what Kirk Cousins does. Jordan Love and the Packers, young QB, not going to make the playoffs for sure. The Bears, just not a believer in the offense. I mean, Justin Fields, I think, has upside, still has a couple years to go. I don't think he has the pieces around him to be successful yet. I just don't think any of these teams, none of these teams are going to win a playoff game. I just don't see it. They're all mediocre. Like they're not terrible, but they're not great. It's the division of mids. Everyone's just like a mid team. I think every team's going to win. Like every team should win above 6 games, I think, type of deal. You know, no one's gonna be terrible, but no contenders in this division.
I mean, I think y'all being a little harsh on the teams in the division. I think there's a lot of potential for a wild card in this mix. And what I mean by wild card is not like the slot in the playoffs, but one of these teams is going to be a mystery. I don't think all 4 teams are going to just be getting punched on by the NFC. The NFC is not no run-of-the-mill division right now, conference. I mean, it really just runs through the damn Eagles. I think anybody has an opportunity to go out there and try to defeat them. I could see the Lions coming out of that division as the best team. Like I said, I am very curious to see the Lions against the Chiefs on opening weekend. Maybe they may not have Travis Kelce, but that would be a great test for that team to just see where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Just see where they're at, where they've progressed over the last few years. And I think Jared Goff is a top 10 quarterback. I think he is number 10. I think we did our 10 the other day, Trent. We're not about to get into a big debate about it.
I left.
We did not get into a big debate about it. It was a whole thing an episode ago. But I like Jared Goff a lot. You know, I'm higher on him the most because I do feel like with weapons and with a good system around, he does play well. You know, I think we give grace to God. People give grace to the Derek Carrs of the world and the Jimmy G's, and I feel like I've seen Jared Goff do more than those guys. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's had better numbers than those guys. I've seen Jared Goff in a shootout against Patrick Mahomes to be one of the best NFL games I've ever watched in my lifetime. Why are you making that face, bro?
That's 5 years ago.
Bro talking.
Bro, I'm not. Bro, that's the thing. Nobody can ever mention anybody's history to bring back a point. I'm not. Did I say because he had one shootout, he's a guy? I'm saying I've seen him do multiple. He's had multiple bright spots in his career that makes me believe that I feel like he can be a top 10 quarterback. I think last year he was one of the better quarterbacks in all of football.
I'm a rebuttal. I'm going to let you land. I'm a rebuttal after that.
Rebuttal? Well, what is there to rebuttal, though?
No, like I'm saying, I'm going to go use my picks and I'm going to explain why I did this. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to let you land.
All I'm saying is Jared Goff is a guy that I think could lead this Lions team because I think they have the weapons to do it. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, J-Mo, Amon-Ra, the sun god. There is so many weapons out there for Jared Goff to have his disposal, and I've seen Jared Goff in his career utilize them to the best of his ability. So, I'm from my eye test, I like the Lions to come out of the division. I think they're the contender. I think the biggest pretender of the division, whether they make the playoffs or not, are the Vikings. And the reason why they're my pretender is because even if they make it to the playoffs, I don't think they'll be that great, to be honest. I don't really believe in that defense. I don't believe in that defense, and I'll never be that high on Kirk Cousins. I think his ceiling, even with weapons, is where it is going to be. And I don't know if he can get the most out of a team. And so because of that, I'll say he's a pretender, regardless of if they make the playoffs, because I don't think they'll make any noise. I think they'll lose in the first round all over again.
All right, so I got for, of course, the contenders. I mean, it really can be almost everybody because I like Jordan Love. I think maybe Justin Fields and them, they're probably a year early, so I'm not going to say them, but I think mainly the contenders is the Vikings. Now, basically, majority of the stuff that y'all was just saying about Jared Goff and the weapons and this and that, and of course, the Vikings have a good defense. You still have a top 2 receiver in Justin Jefferson. You have a really good tight end, TJ Hockenson. You drafted Jordan Addison. That's going to be even crazier with Kirk. This could be Kirk's probably because Kirk Cousins really consistently has been.
He put numbers. He put up numbers for sure.
This could definitely be a year where Kirk can get like I think the last year he was close to getting 5K was like 2016 when we watched him. This could be a year where he can get 4,900 again and have a good TD interception ratio. But my pretenders, I'm not gonna lie, I think the Lions are the most overrated team in the NFL. Just off the fact that I like Dan Campbell because I don't know when MJ brought up like the whole his first interview, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not right. Thanks. But then when I started seeing him, I was like, okay, he's a good coach. But my issue is specifically on Jared Goff because I just feel like we kind of revisiting his history with him because before this year, everybody was calling him dog shit. If we keep it in buck, everybody's saying he was trash, and he hasn't been consistently good, like having like actually 2 consistent back-to-back years since his LA Rams days, and those were 5 years ago. So, and I'm super low on Jared Goff. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I think Ben Johnson kind of saved him a lot this year. And I think, of course, everybody talk about, they picked up half his season. I think it's kind of misleading because I understand when you look at the stats, it's like he had like 17 TDs, 1 pick, but you were still throwing some bullshit a lot. But just off the fact that I just think that Jared Goff is not going to have another decent year this year. But I wouldn't be surprised.
But you don't think he's more primed to have a better year? The team is better than what it was the year before.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, Gerald. I've seen him, like how you said, you've seen him do shootouts. I've seen him with the better teams and still have like when Robert Woods was still good. You still had Kupp.
But haven't you seen Kirk Cousins with the better team look like shit before?
I mean, when?
Just in general, man. He had one of the better teams this year. I mean, obviously that defense wasn't great.
I mean, they lost.
Come on, they lost some games. They lost some games that they had no business losing.
Sure, but that's all NFL teams. Every team loses a game they're not supposed to win. I mean, they're not supposed to lose. But yeah,
so Kirk Cousins was great all year.
he was good, but he's more consistent than Jared Goff. That's why I trust the Vikings more than the Lions. His whole career,
he's just consistent for numbers, though. To me, I mean, he's just consistent for numbers,
even
though.
When you watch the tape and on the field, I generally think, and I don't even think it should be debated, that for his whole career, Kirk Cousins has been way more consistent than Jared Goff.
That's facts.
I think.
I mean, in terms of the numbers, yeah, but
I think play on the field that shouldn't even be debated. Like you turn on the tape, Bama, you muted.
Yeah, but who's had a higher ceiling of the two quarterbacks though? Like at their best, when they've been able to play at their best, who's been better at their best?
I mean, respectfully, I don't kind of care for ceiling, but if you want to say Jared Goff, that's fine. If you want to,
but what I'm saying is, you've seen the ceiling. I think Kirk Cousins' ceiling is what it is, and what I'm saying is, Jared Goff, I think he has the ability to go over the top if put in the right situation. That's what I'm saying.
That's why. I think
that's what I'm saying about it.
Hey, real quick, Bama, that's what maybe that's where we disagree. Because I think Jared Goff is Jared Goff. He's a 30-year-old quarterback. He's been in the league for years. I think both of them is where they're at right now. So that's why I say I'll lean on to the Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins is comfortably better than Jared Goff, and that's why I'm
not mad if you think he's better. I mean, it's opinion.
Well, both of them are hard drugs, and too much of any one of them will have your team strung out. Just let you know you'll be in rehab. Too much of any one of them dudes right there.
Oh my God!
So they just horrible together. They're both the same person.
Right?
Like Detroit Kirk Cousins, and you got Kirk Cousins. Like they just both the same person. Because you could make the same argument. When has somebody did good? I mean, you can say the same thing. And when had they both shitty? And they both do good stuff every now. So it just depends on when you watch them. But
right,
both need.
I got Jared Goff.
The Packers are sneaky. Like they're actually, because if we really want to talk about defense, they have by far the best defense in that division. So Jordan Love, because I said it again because Ben brought up again. He was throwing some throws in the preseason. I'm like, what you doing? Like he throwing some sidearms. He looking pretty accurate. But of course, preseason take it with a grain of salt. But if Jordan Love is actually pretty solid, and especially in this division, because it's not as good, they can sneak up and make the playoffs too. So,
all right, y'all just touched on this, but we got a super chat from Riddell's Goat Takes. Kirk Cousins versus Jared Goff bet. I want that smoke with this overrated Lions team. Are y'all feeling the same way?
We ain't overrating them. We ain't like, I ain't trying to overrate them. Like, I'm not saying like, all right, they about to be a Super Bowl contender, but do I think they can take a playoff game? I do. I mean, who else in the NFC? This is the NFC versus the AFC. Like, AFC is crazy loaded. NFC, aside from the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys, like, let's put the Seahawks in there. I believe that the Lions can get a game in. So, but yeah, I think Jared Goff, again, he's been disrespected and all that, but he's been to a Super Bowl. Like, I give him that respect. Like, you can't go to a Super Bowl by accident. Facts.
All right, y'all, let's drive the conversation to new starting QBs in the league. Between the Atlanta Falcons, Desmond Ridder, Washington Commanders, Sam Howell, and Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, who we've talked about a lot this episode, which QB will end up having the most impactful season? Liv, welcome in. Who of these new starting QBs are you predicting has the most impactful season?
Yeah, I've said this for a few months, actually, and I haven't been here this whole episode, but apparently you guys have talked about Jordan Love. That would be my answer. I think he'll have the most impact on his team. Just touched on it, but their defense is going to be, I think, the best one in this division, and they just have a lot of really young, core, solid football players on their team on both sides of the ball. And Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, they still have a really good run game there and a really solid, I feel like, underrated offensive line. So I think he's in a pretty good position to be successful and be impactful. Desmond Ridder, we saw a little bit from him last year, and I think he has a lot of really special playmakers on that offense in Atlanta. I think they could make a splash in the NFC South division. That's pretty weak this season, at least as of right now. So he would probably be my second answer. Sam Howell is just such a toss-up. I don't know enough about him yet to really answer that. But, yeah, my overall answer, Jordan Love.
I like it.
I definitely agree with that. I think Jordan Love has to be the number one there's a couple of factors, right? You got to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for several years. You get to learn a lot. That's the big thing in the quarterback position and in sports and in life, right? Who is your mentor? Who is teaching you something? Also, look at a Packers organization compared to a Commanders organization compared to a Falcons organization, right? Organizations are a really big thing in how effective you can be as a quarterback. Just because when we look at the Dallas Cowboys organization, the organization isn't all intact, but they've had several athletes year after year after year that are Pro Bowlers and everything else. So when you have a good general manager, a good head coach, a good owner, it helps you out. The Packers have had a higher standard for the organization for a while. I think number 2 could be Ritter, depends on what he does, just because the NFC South, right? It's very whatever as far as conference goes. And then Howell could actually be good, but when you're playing against, the Eagles, then you do have a Cowboys and then a Giants that went to the playoffs. You're playing against the best division in the NFC. So that could make some of your production go down a little bit because I'm playing against harder teams 2 times a year, which is 6 more games, right? And those will be thrown in there, a couple of, but I'm getting that extra game against all these guys in compared to the Saints, the Panthers, and the Buccaneers. So I think Jordan Love, with the experience he got behind Rodgers, you get to see some of the throws he made in the preseason. That's some Rodgers type of throws. You're going to know he knows how to command that team, command the offense. So I think Love has the biggest upside to be able to put a lot of pressure on the boys in the NFC North.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all know me, bro. I am the biggest Kyle Pitts fan you will ever see. So even though Jordan Love has been mentored by A-Rod, I understand that. But in this situation, I feel like it should be easily Desmond Ritter that should break out and be the best out of these 3. Because you got to think about it. You have probably the best tight end prospect you've seen since he might be a top, probably one of the, he's either way, he's one of the greatest tight end prospects you ever see. Generational talent. You can literally put him at tight end. You can even put him as the number 1 on outside. He's going to do work. You have Bijan Robinson. He's ridiculous. He can tote that rock, and you've seen his route running in training camp. He's about to be used crazy in that offense. You have Drake London, another good number 1 wide receiver out there. You have weapons, and this division is weak, super weak. So Desmond Ritter should break out and should be the best out of these 3 by far because of how much the talent pool that's in ATL. Now I can see Jordan Love because again, you getting mentored by the Aaron Rodgers, going to learn a lot of things. But I think when it comes to roster construct, because Sam Howell, he has Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. That's going to be an elite duo if they stay.
Gibson,
that's the best. He has the best wide receivers out of all of them. He
got Gibson and Robinson too. He got some running backs.
He got some people there, but I just feel like they just in the NFC East, so it's kind of going to be hard for them to win a lot, and the schedule's hard for we have the hardest schedules this year from the NFC East. But ATL though, that Desmond Ritter shit, you got Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and they just reported they're going to use Cordell Patterson a joker role, bro. I need to see, and they still have Tyler Algieri winning the league.
Definitely got a lot of weapons. He definitely got a lot of weapons.
Yeah, so I think it should for sure be Desmond Ritter, and we just got to see, bro. I think Desmond Ritter is going to be. He should have a really good season this year.
I'm going with Sam Howell. I'm with you,
J-Rob. I'm with you.
I'm not gonna lie. It is not because to slight the Giants, bro. It has nothing to do with your Giants, bro. We know what Daniel Jones is, Mr. 15. We know who he is. Sam Howell, though, obviously, with all 3 of these quarterbacks, like MJ said, I think they're really all rookies. They're going into their rookie years. They've obviously some got to sit and watch and learn a bit, but they haven't really played much football, so we don't really know what they are going to be when the lights are brightest. However, Sam Howell has something that I think the other guys don't have, and that's Eric Bieniemy. And I think Eric Bieniemy is going to dial up a lot of good stuff for this kid, especially with the weapons that he has. He has real playmakers. I think of the 3 quarterbacks, the guy with the best receiver right now is easily Sam, because Terry McLaurin is the best receiver of the group. I think Jahan Dotson will take a leap. I think Antonio Gibson is a great out the backfield runner with the ability to catch out of the backfield. And then Bama, you know what Brian Robinson is. That's a Bama guy. He's one of them dogs. This is I get shot and I'll come back and score touchdowns.
I was about to say that man got shot.
That man got shot and came back.
Season.
And came back the same season. have mercy on me, man. Like he's really one of them guys. So I like Sam Howell, and I maybe because I want to see Eric Bieniemy like show the world that he's really like a guru when it comes to this ability to call plays. I really don't like how the narrative has been set that he's a Andy Reid merchant, pretty much. Like that is what the narrative has been set. And I would love for him to prove it through Sam Howell. And Ron Rivera raved about him. He believes he's good. I believe he's good. And I think he's in the right division to do it. I mean, he'll have the opportunity. I think they'll have a great defense over there in Washington, and he has the weapon. So now he just needs a play caller. And I think Sam Howell will just have to, we'll see. But I'm gonna go with Sam Howell. I think he'll be one of them guys. I think he's good. His preseason and his preseason, I was impressed. Obviously, it's still preseason, but it did look like he can operate an offense. So I'm excited to see what he looks like. I'll take Sam Howell.
To add on to J-Rob, I think with Washington, he already mentioned the offensive pieces, the wide receivers he has. I just think that defense, like last year, they started off really bad, but the second half of the season, that defense was a top 10 defense. And then you go ahead and you draft cornerback Emmanuel Forbes, you get Jartavius Martin. I mean, those two, I know they're rookies, but if those two guys can step up at the cornerback position, I think Washington is easily a top 10 defense within this league. So you give a top 10 defense, give Terry McLaurin, you give him wide receivers. Sam Howell, he didn't have to be like phenomenal. He can kind of just even be a game manager, get him, get me 3,200 yards, throw 25 touchdowns, keep the interceptions low. I think he can have a huge impact on that team. They could be a sneaky team because that defense could surprise people. That's the defense that I think can surprise the most people this season because they have some guys there who, those rookies step up, it could be a game changer.
Right. I agree.
All right, and while we're on the topic of first years, I want to come back to this super chat from Drink More Water. Which rookie/first year starter gets the most passing yards and passing touchdowns? And where does Jonathan Taylor end up by the trade deadline?
Jonathan Taylor needs to end up somewhere because he's on my fantasy team. So I need him to play football. I'm not going to lie. I just need him to play some goddamn football. Jonathan, I don't care where you go, but I cannot.
J-Rob?
Second round. Literally second round. Yeah, I literally need him to play football. Jonathan Taylor, wherever you are, I understand the market sucks, but please, for fantasy owners across America, and I know you don't give a fuck about our fantasy teams, but bro, you literally got picked in everybody's draft within the first round or the top of everybody's second round. So I need you. I am pleading. I am begging you, Jonathan Taylor, please pick a team. I need you to play football. I don't care. I actually don't even care if it's the Bills or the Dolphins, but I need you to play football because I will be screwed. I'll be screwed if you don't play football this year.
Yeah,
so please.
Picking JT in the second round is kind of crazy, but nah. What's his name?
The fact that he fell to the second round is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's true. It's true,
yeah,
bro.
for real.
I think the team, though, because he can't play for the first 4 games or something like that.
Because I had the back-to-back, so I took Mahomes first.
Wherever the trades is open, I need the Bills to go spam whatever you need. Go get that running back so they can have a running game. So they don't have to worry about the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. You have an actual premier back, so you don't have to. They don't have to just like defenses scout on. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Like, go get a running back. Go get JT, bro. He's on the board. Go get that.
Who picks a running back in the second round in fantasy football?
A lot of what? Everybody.
Who y'all talking about?
I'm gonna
keep
your
first
real.
two picks is the first picks is usually receivers and running backs. Y'all never played fantasy before?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's always
casual
running back usually.
Is my audio better now?
Yes, Steve.
I think the question asked you who's going to get the most receiving touchdowns. I think I'm probably going to go with Jackson Smith.
Receiving touchdowns or
yeah.
No, passing.
Okay, passing. So rookie quarterback.
Really down to 2 guys, right? Stroud and Young, because they're the only 2 rookies. Well, no, 3.
Yeah. No, Richardson.
Nick Bosa got the bag.
It'll be, for some reason, it's telling me Stroud will probably be able to get the most. I think he's a pure passer.
Yeah.
I think Young he's not Michael Vick, but he runs around a little more and can, take off. I think Stroud's just going to sit in the backfield, throw the ball. He got a couple of receivers out there. I love Tank Dell. Dude is a dog out of Houston. Obviously, Anthony Richardson. Dude probably throw for 150 yards a game like he did in college and run for 150 yards. So I think when you just think about there's only 3 of them, Anthony Richardson's going to run probably quite a bit with his size and just in that package. I think they lost their best receiver, right, with Moore. I think Stroud has a couple of weapons that he could get busy with out there. I don't see any 3 of them going crazy, but I think Stroud will probably have the most passing yards. And as far as my man Jonathan Taylor goes, I think that has to do – you can't say where anybody will go until it gets closer to the trade deadline, because we could say the Bills until their running back starts doing good and they have a good running game. Or we could say, let's say, the Packers until they're out of playoff contention, right? So it's hard. I think the window closes a lot as teams say, hey, what's the point of even getting this guy if we're already, on a downhill? Whereas one team's like, hey, let's throw everything at it because we are doing this, and he's the missing piece. So that's always tough, especially with running backs. Not a receiver's a little different, quarterback's a little different, right? Running backs are a dime a dozen. That's why he's in the position he's at right now. So unless you just feel like we're right here and our running back is giving us no production, it's hard for anybody to really say.
Hey,
right.
I'm glad DP said it first, because everybody know if I would have said it first, I'm being biased because that's my dog Tank. I'm telling you, bro. Tank Dell is gonna be a dark horse for offensive rookie year. I'm calling it right now. CJ Stroud, they're gonna be really good, bro. I'm telling you, CJ Stroud. People gave him a lot of slack because his first preseason game he ain't look good, bro. It's preseason, bro. Let the man rock, bro. Like, come on, man.
Hey, on another note, Nick Bosa got 5 years, 170, 122 guaranteed.
He got the bag.
He got the bag.
How much guaranteed money he get? How much he get?
122.
That's crazy guaranteed.
He's the highest. He's the highest. Those things, the biggest contract.
Well, hey, Jerry Jones better bring out that Brinks truck for Michael Parsons, because
Bosa got that.
Because if Bosa got that, he got quarterback money. Michael Parsons is gonna be looking for that quarterback money for sure.
Chandler Jones, bro. Chandler Jones looking at that Jones, man.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. Oh yeah. Yeah, Chris Jones is looking at that contract like, what? And I had a better year? Yeah, I might need. I had just as good as a year. He did that. Well, no, Nick Bosa won defensive year.
And they got Hargraves this offseason.
Yeah, this will make him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history.
Wait, you said so 5 years, 170? So he's averaging what, like 30-some million a year?
That's crazy.
Chris Jones had an all-world year. I know if I'm looking at that, I need my money. I need my money.
Right now,
the Chiefs are like
more than Devontae Adams.
The Chiefs are pissed. Yeah, the Chiefs are pissed right now. They're pissed. They're gonna go. They're pissed right now. They're pissed right now, bro. Because the market is set now. The market is set at 170,
set, bro. The market
is set at 170. If you're a premier pass rusher, it starts at 170. And now we're on our way to having our first $200 million pass rusher, right?
Hey, defensive players getting paid. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Chiefs can't let Chris Jones
because we had Deshaun Watson set the market with the contract of guaranteed, and the owner said, well, we ain't going off of what they went off of. Mm-hmm. Now how they just set this is a jump, a drastic jump. I think those owners already showed that they'll band together and say, I don't care what one team did for one guy, that's them over there. I think the only person that really has to worry about that is Jerry Jones.
Yes, because Micah's that good.
Don't think about other teams.
He's clearly the best. Michael Parsons is clearly the best.
Yeah, so the other teams is like, bro, you're not Nick Bosa. You're not Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
So I think, to be honest, there's only one team that has to worry about this, and that's Jerry Jones. Nobody else has to worry about that specific contract. I'm not giving you that.
I'm going to tell you who's going to reset that thing. I'm going to tell you 2 players that I think will reset the market again in the next coming up years. And I would suggest both teams to pay these players ahead of schedule, because Jalen Carter, in about 2 years, you will have to up that bag, because he's going to be worth a lot of bread. I'm telling you, Jalen Carter is going to have that type of impact year one. I can just tell he's a freak show. Yeah. He's a freak. And then my guy, Sauce Gardner. You better go pay that man sooner rather than later. Because I always say pay sooner rather than later. Because once somebody that's not as good or is just as good as the player who's seeking the money gets paid, it changes the entire conversation. That's when you start comparing stats, numbers, impact, and then that's when that money get funnier. Ask Jerry Jones about when he should have paid Dak versus when he did pay Dak. You know what I'm saying?
$1 million to $40 million. That's what the difference was.
Bro,
$9 million a year.
Did Miles get paid yet?
Who?
I think he got extended already. Actually,
he ain't get extended. He's going to get the major bag.
Yeah. So I always say pay early, make the investment now. Because if you look at Mahomes, got one of the worst quarterback contracts in football right now. And at first, when he did it, we thought it was a great contract.
Right? He got one of the worst contracts.
The Chiefs are set. The Chiefs are so blessed to have Mahomes on that deal.
Oh, they're going to have to restructure that. They're going to have to restructure that. They're going to have to re-talk to Patrick.
Mahomes will be out of his deal probably next year.
You're going to have to you're going to have to restructure that ASAP.
He's going to be making like a little more.
Oh, I got to think about it. If Mahomes' deal doesn't run out for like another 6 years, he's averaging $45 million. By the time Mahomes' deal would have ran out, which we know he won't get there, quarterbacks will be making $70 million a year.
Yeah.
Look, Brady took a discount for a decade. People forget Brady took a discount for a decade.
I don't think that's the system. I don't know why people think because Brady did it, everybody's doing
that's
that.
Right. I don't know if everybody will, but I
know I'm not.
For the ring. I know. Trust me. Give me my $200 million. We could take
I'm not.
Gilbert Arenas said
ex-wife was making more than Brady.
Yeah, I love Aaron Rodgers for giving back that 35 to the Jets so we could make some moves. And that obviously says he's made a lot of money. He's not greedy. I'm greedy. I'm not giving nothing back, bro. Nothing.
Yeah. Rodgers is at the end of the career. He got this year and maybe next year, so that's easy. Brady did it over an extended period of time.
It's all legacy form right now.
Yeah, when you got Giselle making another 150.
I was gonna say when you have Giselle making that supermodel money.
What is that? So I can win Super Bowls, make a lot of money. My lady got a lot of money. Patrick lady sitting at the crib.
Everybody doesn't have the chance to. Everybody doesn't have the chance to be the GOAT. Everybody don't have the chance to be the GOAT.
My lady like nice stuff.
Exactly.
Like nice
People got to eat.
Wait, but Mahomes knows he's in that conversation, so he might be okay with getting, let's say over the course of 10 years, making $100 million less.
Bro, he won a Super Bowl with the most starting rookies in the NFL, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In his mind, as long as y'all got me, we got a chance.
As long as y'all got me.
Fair.
No, real.
Here's what I tell everybody: Brady took all those pay cuts to get who?
Tampa.
Thank you. Nobody.
Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, that defense. I mean, that was
the end of his career.
Yeah, that's championship stacked.
So I'm saying no. I'm talking about the Patriots. He was taking pay cuts way before the Bucs. I'm talking about he took pay cuts to get who? Patrick Mahomes took this pay cut a couple of years ago to have who? Who's on the offense?
Right.
Travis Kelce. And he doesn't have a crazy Hawkinson just has a way bigger contract than him. The defense won't pay Chris Jones. That's why I say it's so funny that these owners and GMs want you to take a pay cut and they don't go get nobody.
I mean, the Patriots got a lot of guys on defense. But they had Asante Samuel for a while. They had some defensive pieces.
Yeah, but you ain't get him no premier weapons though. They never got him. They just had him. Obviously they had Gronk, but they didn't really give him nothing crazy.
Why aren't the Chiefs paying Chris Jones? Does anyone have an answer?
Because you're gonna have to pay Travis Kelce.
But they're gonna have to pay somebody.
You gotta pay. They're gonna have to up the bag. They're gonna have to up the bag. Yo, you gotta up the bag.
Tyreek Hill go because of some money. Bro, that says it all. That's one of the most explosive players to ever come through.
And I'm gonna be honest though,
with your quarterback.
But I'm gonna tell you what's the worst thing about what happened with that DP. Obviously, Nadia, I know we got one more topic before we get out of here, but I just want to say though, the worst thing about that too is they won the Super Bowl after they cut bait with Tyreek. So now they really feel the level of arrogance, like, man, we don't gotta pay you shit. Like, we're gonna win anyway. As long as we got Pat,
we're gonna learn.
As long as we got Pat Travis, we in it.
They got MVS at $11 million.
They're gonna have to pay Creed Humphreys too. They're gonna have to pay some guys
right now, but it's all about the market and your leverage. And when you're on a team with Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, your leverage is very low.
Yeah, facts.
All right, those are some crazy reactions to Nick Bosa becoming the highest paid defensive player in history. He got a bag. To close out our show, we're talking top 10 players in the NFL 25 and under. MJ, get us started. Who are your top 10 players in the NFL 25 and under?
25 and under. I'm gonna need some help with this, but I think
I got a list for you already.
Yeah, I got like
a
a
list
top.
already?
I got it. Yeah, I did it yesterday. I got a list.
Let me
All right,
make mine real quick.
so my honorable mentions. Let me go honorable mentions first because there's so many players 25 and under, and it's like there's just 10 is really not enough to really pay homage to some of these guys. So my honorable mentions were Trayvon Diggs, Devontae Smith, Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Penei Sewell over in Detroit. Those are my honorable mentions. Now my list, and this is in order. I'm not gonna lie, from 1 to 10. Jalen Hurts, Jettas,
Okay.
Herbert, Micah Parsons, Jamar Chase, Trevor Lawrence, Bosa, Patrick Surtain II, Sauce Gardner, and Tristan Wirfs.
Jalen Hurts. How old is Jalen Hurts?
He's 25.
25. Okay.
Or I think it's 24 actually.
Okay, yeah,
Let's
couple
put,
quarterbacks in there.
I think I'm
I'm
gonna put Justin Jefferson first though. Like he's done it for 3 straight years. I think Hurts, because he plays the quarterback position, you automatically get bumped up a little bit. So
That's exactly why I did that.
I don't mind having him at 2, but I need 2 years of what he's done. And then obviously I would be able to put him at 1, but I would go Jefferson, Hurts, Nick Bosa. He's 25 and he just got that bag. Micah Parsons, I love him. Jamar Chase.
Yep.
Sauce Gardner. Herbert in there. I love Patrick Surtain II. And then I got CD and some of those other boys at there, but those are kind of the top ones I had there. But yeah, I think Hurts goes to number 1 if he has a very he don't got to go to a Super Bowl, but if he has another MVP-ish year, quarterbacks always bump up because of the position. But I think we cannot discount Justin Jefferson for doing the things that he's done in 3 straight years. Anytime you break one Randy Moss record, let alone every one he put up, even though it's a different time, but it's still Randy Moss. And
I really can't get behind a receiver being number 1 on the list. I know the production is crazy, but from my point of view, I will just always look at the receiver position as such a dependent position, bro. And because of that, I feel like I don't think a receiver can ever be the best player in football. No offense. Like, that's not even, like, I don't think they could be number 1 on list because so many things have to go right for a receiver to get the football. O-line got to block. Quarterback got to get on the rock. You got to beat. You got to, your running back got to catch a pass block. The other receivers on the field have to run the right route. There's so many variables. That's why I just put him at 2 because obviously I understand the production part of it. Can't deny what he's done these first 3 years in the NFL. They've been unreal. But because they're dependent, I just felt like I had to put him at 2. And I only gave Jalen the nod because obviously his past year, because if not, it would have been Herbert at 1. You know what I'm saying? It would have been Herbert 1, Jettas 2. But because of the year Jalen just had, I'm going to go Jalen 1, Jettas 2, Herb 3.
Do you guys think by the end of the year, Lawrence will be better than Herbert?
Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no.
I don't know about hell no.
Why hell no?
I don't think he will.
Trent, tell me what, again.
They neck and neck, if not.
What definitive thing does Justin Herbert do?
Yes,
he excels better than Trevor Lawrence. But Trevor Lawrence going to pass him.
Accuracy, for sure, easily is accuracy, and I don't even think it's wipes it. For me, I don't even think I need Trevor Lawrence to get in these conversations when he actually plays good for a full season. Like he played good for 8 games.
That's what I said.
I got to see more. So yeah, I'm not. I gotta see that.
You biased, bro. Because I ain't hear you talk about this.
I'm biased with Justin Herbert.
Because Daniel Jones, he was talking about how he was top 15 and all this other shit a year ago with 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, bro. We talking about the 15 spot. You know when them quarterback range? Come on, bro. You comparing that to Justin Herbert?
I'm just saying.
I got my list.
Anyways, I got one. So you gonna go first, MJ? Because I'll go.
Yes, sure. I'll just go real quick. Honorable mention. I'm gonna have Rashawn Slater, Jalen Waddle, Creed Humphrey. And I'll be objective. Number 1, Micah Parsons. Number 2, Jalen Hurts. Number 3, Justin Jefferson. 4, Jamar Chase. 5, Justin Herbert. 6, Trevor Lawrence. 7, Sauce Garner. 8, Jonathan Taylor. 9, Penei Sewell. And then 10, Patrick Surtain. I just feel like in terms of defensive playmakers, again, I'm one of the biggest Hurts guys, but just Micah Parsons' impact is second to none. I mean, it's ridiculous. So he's my number one.
All right, I don't know if this is going to be my order, but I think this is for sure my 10. I think so. So probably honorable mention. That's going to be hard because
so many players, bro.
I think honorable mention, bro. Nobody brought him up. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm going to just name him. So 1, I got Jettis. 2, I got Nick Bosa. 3, I got Micah. 4, I got PS2. 5, Jamar Chase. 6, Herbert. 7,
Nick Bosa.
7, nobody talked about him, but y'all gonna call me biased. He's still one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Nobody said Dexter Lawrence. He is the damn truth.
Nah, it was so many players.
But it's
so many players.
I got Dexter Lawrence at 7. I got I think 6 or something like that. Then I have Quinnen. Then I have Jalen Hurts.
Quinnen.
Yeah. And then these 10, oh my God. My Jesus. I'll put I don't feel like arguing Sauce, so I forgot
Andrew Thomas, bro. I should put Andrew Thomas instead of Tristan Wirfs.
I'm gonna put Sauce.
No, but Tristan Wirfs is nice.
Yeah, but Andrew Thomas is better.
Andrew Thomas at 10 because I think Andrew Thomas is really.
I put Josh Jacobs in A10.
No, I didn't put Josh Jacobs. Yo, I forgot to add a few people like Garrett Wilson.
I think he go next year.
Creed Humphreys. Nobody said Creed Humphreys.
Yeah. That's my
Quinnen Williams is a good pick too.
There's Quinnen Williams, DK Metcalf. There's just Jonathan Taylor's under 25.
Yeah.
T. Higgins is 24. Kyle Pitts is 22. Like there's hella players, so it's like it could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned all the names that are in that conversation.
Yeah. Waddle, Jalen Waddle. Nobody said Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just I think Jalen Waddle's like in like 15, like the top 15 range.
Yeah.
Them players in the top 10.
Yeah, I would mention.
Even like 10 through 13 is just like golly, bro.
Right. And then let's not to say who's gonna break out this year. Like JC Horn might be in that mix. Derek Stingley could be in that mix next year. There's gonna be so many. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson. The conversation for players right now is going to be different.
It'll change by the end of the year. This top 10.
Yeah, it'll change. Yeah, that list will change.
For sure.
Having Sauce over PS2 is crazy. No, I had PS2 over Sauce on my list.
Yeah, I don't think nobody said that. I for sure got PS2.
I mean, if you take away quarterbacks, I think the consensus 3 is Parsons, Jefferson, and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Take away
the problem is when you do the top players, the quarterbacks will always get so much of a boost because of their impact to the game. That's why I was like, I had to add an O lineman, had to add some D line. I'm like, I had to make sure everybody, like, we didn't say not one linebacker. How old is Fred Warner? Is he 25?
I was about to ask, how old is Fred Warner?
How old is Fred? Like,
I think Fred Warner might just hit like.
Hold on, I'm a stat guy.
I think he might have just hit 26 because when I looked it up.
He's 26.
26, yeah.
Oh, he just turned 26. Oh, okay, I was saying because nobody said Fred, and Fred is the best linebacker in football. Yeah, word.
All right, y'all. We're at the top of the 2 hours now, so we're gonna go ahead and round out the show. But thanks so much for tuning in, hanging with us for another episode of the Press Box. We'll be back here on Friday. Next time y'all see us, we'll have NFL football back, so it's gonna be a good one. See y'all then.
Let's go. Go
yes,
Lions.
Sir.